ain't gonna know how to adjust to this shit. See, the black people, we've been through this shit our whole life. So it ain't easy for us to, it ain't hard for us to make a living. It ain't hard for us to survive. Because most black people, we've been dealing with this shit our whole life. But I feel real sorry for the people that's been rich, who've been sticking their nose up at people. I feel sorry for the upper class people who's going bankrupt, who got their businesses getting shut down, who's not making the money that they used to, and now they gotta get out here like everybody else and try to figure this shit out. Them the people that's going through the worst because, you know, them the people that's been rich for a long time and they don't know how to survive the struggle like black people or like Mexican people. See, one thing about Mexican people and black people and certain white people, we come from the struggle. We come from the trenches. We come from the hood.
Grainger makes it easy to find and order the products your team depends on around the clock.
So this shit ain't nothing new to us. We know how to make ends meet and get by, you know, just having the bare minimum. We know how to do this shit, but everybody don't know how to do that. Because everybody don't come from the poverty areas of the society or of this nation. Some people come from wealth. Some people come from, you know, the upper class. And now that they dealing with this shit too, they in for a rude awakening because they don't know how to stretch shit like black people. Like black people, we know how to stretch our money. We know how to, you know, put some shit together to make some shit work to survive. Everybody know how to do it. And this is why people have nasty attitudes, people giving you disrespect, people giving you nasty attitudes, and people is giving you their ass to kiss. It's because a lot of these people that was privileged, now they dealing with what we've been dealing with for 100 years. A lot of these people that's been privileged for so long, now they dealing with the effects of the high cost of living, the increase of gas prices, the increase of food prices, and everything else. And that's why most people running around here crashing out. They got attitudes, you know, they ready to kill you, and they ready to rob you. And you gotta be careful, man, because everybody not used to being at the bottom. Everybody not used to dealing with a collapse of an economy. Everybody not used to dealing with what it's like to go through the struggle or to have challenges. Everybody not used to dealing with this shit. You know what I mean? So you definitely got to be careful out here. And people burnt out. People would do whatever right now, you feel what I'm saying, to get an extra couple dollars. You feel me? Like, people burnt out. And nothing is working. Whether you try to go to school, whether you try to go get a job, nothing working really. Even if you try to sell drugs or take the illegal route, the money in the streets dried up. You hear me? For the most part, it ain't no real money in the streets no more. That shit dried up too. So the sad thing is, you know, it's like, where do we go from here? As a people, as a nation, where the fuck do we go from here? Like, people getting evicted right from left. And some people ain't getting evicted. Some people just walking away from that mortgage that they've been paying for 10 years or 20 years. Some people walking away from these high-ass housing prices on these apartments, so-called luxury apartments, condos, townhouses. Some people just decided not to pay that shit, and I can't blame them. I can't blame them at all, you feel me? Like, that's justifiable in my eyes, like, because it's interfering with your peace. Because you're trying to keep up with all this shit. And it's like nothing is working. You have no real income, sustainable income. Most people ain't got no real sustainable income, bro. Most people living paycheck to paycheck, and they one bad incident away from being broke and losing everything. Most people is one bad phone call or one incident away from losing everything, man. And it's like, the game is so rigged, bro. Like, that's why I'm so against this system, bro, because it just don't make no sense that even after you go to work and work all them hours, it don't make no sense to me that you have to put that paycheck into all this different shit just to maintain a certain lifestyle. You gotta pay for your rent, you know, you gotta pay for your utilities, life insurance, car insurance, health insurance, all this shit. Like, damn, bro, like, and then you gotta account that the government is taking money out your paycheck, so they taxing you, food prices, gas prices. It's a tax on everything, you feel me? Literally taxing you before you even get your money, you know? After you done working those 40 to 50 to 60 hours a week, the government get their money before you even touch those shit, you feel me? It's like,
courses for college for only $99 a month? That's Sophia Learning. Over 70 courses to choose from, all on your schedule, on just about any device. There are no extra costs, and they're all designed to transfer. Nearly 3,000 colleges and universities have reviewed Sophia Learning transcripts, and there's no catch. Sophia can help you save time and money on your degree. Your progress is up to you, and guided by us. Still not sure? Start your free trial today at sophia.org.
like, people want answers, man. People want answers. And this system ain't helping nobody, bro. This shit, let's keep it real, y'all. This shit ain't helping nobody. Even the people that think they got it and they think they kind of got some kind of leverage, this shit ain't helping nobody, bro. If you really look at this system, this shit ain't helping nobody, because the people that made this system and that run this shit, they doing illegal shit to maintain their lifestyle. Most of the rich people, like the elites, they stealing from people. They creating wars and, you know, taking people land and taking people, you know, property. And they doing illegal shit to stay afloat. So even the rich people, the people that's, you know, the government, they not even living according to the rules of this system. Ain't that some crazy shit? The government is breaking every law in the law book. The government is not living according to the rules of this society. They breaking every law known to mankind and known to God. You feel me? And that's what makes it even worse, because it's like we living under a construct, or we living under a system that benefits nobody. The government don't even live by this shit. You feel me? They don't even live by this shit. They made it because they want the slaves to abide to a system that they don't even live under themselves, or they don't even abide to themselves. And yeah, man, most people burnt out and fed up. And you got a reason to feel fed up right now. You got a reason to feel pissed off. Now, don't go hurt nobody. Don't go commit no crimes. But you do got a reason to feel pissed off right now. Because you was lied to, you was tricked, you was indoctrinated, and you was sold, you was sold a dream. You was sold a dream, just like me. Just like me. And so, you ain't by yourself, you ain't in this shit by yourself, and you ain't the only one that have a valid excuse, you know, to speak on the way the system is being ran, and to speak on why you ain't where you want to be. You know what I mean? It's a lot of people can't even afford an apartment. It's a lot of people can't even get an apartment. It's thousands, if not millions of people can't even get an apartment. Fuck a house. It's people that can't even qualify to get a basic, simple apartment. If that don't make no sense, I don't know what to tell you, man. And it's like, it's sad, bro. Like, but we knew this shit was gonna happen. This shit gotta happen because the Matrix, this shit had to fall, man. And it's sad that it gotta fall like this. But hey, you know, this shit was destined to come crumbling down. You know, this shit was destined. Babylon was destined to come falling down and crumbling down. So, you know, as we move forward, we gotta work with each other, man. We gotta learn how to talk to each other, and we gotta understand, man. We gotta adjust to the times that we headed in. We gotta learn how to adjust. You know, it might be a lot of uncomfortable things you gotta get ready to do so you can be able to survive for you and your family. It might be time for you to start growing your own fruits and vegetables. It might be time for you to go out with having Jordans on your feet every other month. It might be time for you to give up and walk away from that job. It might be time that you learn how to get out there and build your own house. You feel me? Or get out there and you know, hunt for your own food. Fish for your food. These is the times we headed into. I know it's you know, it's very convenient to live in the Matrix for certain reasons because we might have everything at our fingertips, and you know, you can just order food from your phone. You can do a lot of it's easy right now. But that's what makes this shit so deceptive, because the way it's set up, because it's designed to make you feel like that it's convenient, but really this shit ain't doing nothing but hurting you. And it's stripping you of all your power. It's stripping you of all your control that you have over your kids. It's stripping you over the control you have over yourself. And they make it easy in certain ways to get you to buy into the system, so you can really not even see that they really just taking your power, and you don't see what they doing. But it's sad, and I want y'all to be careful out there, man. Like, because people is in a crash dummy state.
They showing the hell is.
I spent 16 years in the Navy as a naval aviator. I retired when my wife got sick. Her lupus.
Stand the heat of the sun. That's why they try to block out the sun. Some of the beings, or some of the people that blocks the sun out, they not all human. Some of the people that block the sun out is extraterrestrial beings. We be thinking that it's just the government that's blocking out the sun. We got to remember that the government work with these people. They work with these different vampires and galactic federations, or they work with these different demonic people, or, you know, shapeshifters. The government work with these motherfuckers. So sometimes when y'all seeing objects flying across the sun, that ain't always the government. Sometimes that be different demonic forces trying to block out the sun for their own reason, because they can't withstand the heat of the sun. Okay? The thing about this shit is, they put it in the movies. They put it in the Hollywood movies. They tell you the truth right in your face. They put the truth right in your face. They tell you in the movie. I don't know if y'all seen that movie Blade. It was an old movie called Blade. Blade. I think it's called Blade with was it Wesley Snipes that played in that movie? I think it was Wesley Snipes that played in the movie called Blade. It's an old movie called Blade with Wesley Snipes. That movie shows how it's demons trying to overtake the planet, or it's vampires trying to control the earth. The movie Blade is Wesley Snipes. Yeah, it's an old movie called Blade. That Wesley Snipes he played a character Blade. In that movie, it shows you how vampires was trying to take over the planet or take over the earth. That's a real thing. You feel what I'm talking about? That's why they do a good job to try to block out the sun as much as possible. But you have a different galactic federation that's working on the behalf of the chosen people of God. Some of us call them angels. Some of us call them ancestors. You call them what you want. But these beings is working on the behalf of the chosen, children of God. And they heating up the sun. They heating that shit up so it can kill off these vampires. You feel what I'm talking about? So it can kill their ass off. And, that's why the deeper you go underground or the deeper you go in earth, the deeper you go in the earth, the deeper you go inside the earth, you start seeing reptilians. Bitch. You start seeing all these different reptilians. The deeper you go underground. All the reptilians live right underneath us. All of them live in the ground. That's where all of them live at. They got a whole entire city. They got a whole entire world that's under under the earth. That's where most of these shapeshifters, reptilians, and different beings, this is where most of them live at. You feel what I'm talking about? They can't live on top of the earth. They can't. Some of them could, but the reason why they can't live on top of the earth is because they don't have the skin texture to withstand the sun. They just ain't got it. So that's why most shapeshifters, they come out at night. Most shapeshifters, like demons, they come out at night. Because they can't come out during the daytime. Because that sun is going to fuck their ass up. That's why most of them come out at night. You feel what I'm saying? But the thing about it is, all this shit has something to do with the war that's going on in heaven. Most of this shit has something to do with the war that's going on in heaven. You feel what I'm talking about? You just gotta remember and understand this shit is deeper than just the temperature of the sun rising because of it's a particular time of the year. This shit is very spiritual. You feel what I'm talking about? This shit is real wicked out here and it's spiritual. Let me get into the chat before I get left behind real quick. Because I don't want to get left. Let me see. I was right. Okay, I was right down. Mike Larry, I got Mike Larry. C say, wow, Mike Larry say, peace from North Carolina, man. Shout out to North Carolina. YW in this thing, what's good with you, W? Say, don't go to Florida. Hey, listen, I supposed to took a trip to Florida this year. I supposed to been out there right now, but somebody told me, like, bro, the best time to go to Florida is like the beginning of the year, like February, spring break type shit. It was like, don't go during the summer because it's hella hot. Craven say, checking in from North Carolina, very hot here. Okay. Yeah, see? And I know, listen, I know North Carolina, and that's over there towards Atlanta, if I'm not mistaken. See, the South get hot as fuck. A lot of people underestimate how hot the South really get. Shit, down South get real hot. But I think North Carolina is the East Coast, ain't it? Previn? Ain't North Carolina, ain't that like the East Coast, if I'm not mistaken? YW say I just got back. Yeah, I know Florida hella hot. I already know it. Daniel say, word, I'm from New York. It gets hot as hell. Listen, I went to New York. When I first went to New York, listen to me, bro. When I first went to New York, Daniel, almost died, bro. In the year I went to New York, I think we went to New Jersey or Newark. We was in Newark. And from the moment we got to the airport in Newark, bruh, the humidity fucked me up. I never felt nothing like that in my life. Because, you know, in California, it get real hot in California.
Damn,
it get real hot in California, but California, we don't have humidity issues like the East Coast. The East Coast, it's like, I don't even know how to explain it, bro. Like the humidity is very bad out there, bro. Like it felt like I was suffering. Like it felt like, it literally felt like it was moist. It was a moisture in the air. It was like it was a moisture. But the moisture that was in the air, it was like, bro, that shit almost killed me, bro. I'ma just make a long story short, that shit almost like really took me out. Elijah in this thing say it's hot as F out here in Texas. Oh man, yeah, you out there in Texas, shit. Shit, Texas, shit. I already know about, I've been in Texas. Listen, I got family out there in Texas. It get hella hot out there. Daniel say, I'm doing fine, thanks. That's good to hear, Danielle. Nate in this thing, what's good with you, Nate? Elijah said 115 is crazy. Shit, I can show you better than I can tell you. Yeah, 115 right now. Shit, I'm sitting in the air though, so I'm cool, but bruh, it's hot out here, bro. This Arizona, bro. Like,
yeah, it's hella hot in Arizona.
It's cooking out here, bro. Cooking. Shit hot. Daniel Washington say it's extremely hot out here, Westchester, New York. Listen, most people be thinking New York don't get hot. Bro, New York will kill you, bro. New York will kill you, bro. New York, listen. I'm gonna tell you why New York will kill you. See, New York don't get hot like Texas, Arizona. You know, it don't get the humidity in New York. That's what's gonna kill you. The humidity in New York, that's what's gonna take you out the game. I'm telling you what I know. It's so much humidity in New York, bro. That's what's gonna kill you. And then New York, it got a lot of different factories. It got a lot of different, it got a lot of data centers in New York. It got a lot of 5G towers that's out there in New York. And New York is everything is close. That's one thing I learned when I went to New York. Everything is right by each other. It's right next to each other. So that make it even worse because New Jersey and Manhattan is like, if you in New York, right, and you coming and you on a ferry. Let's say you go to New York and you on a ferry. You take a ferry to see the surrounding parts of New York, bro. I kid you not. Manhattan right here. You got Brooklyn right there, right next to Manhattan, and then you got New Jersey all close by each other, bro. That shit blew my mind. I'm like, why is all this shit so close? So that make the temperature even hotter in New York because everything is right next to each other. That shit was crazy, bro. I'm like, damn, boy, that shit crazy. Danielle say, yes, True Media, I missed the lives. Yeah, don't worry about it, sis. I ain't went live in 2 weeks. It was, you know, it was overdue. Previn say, heat index is 112 and yeah. RC said, I've been okay, man. God is good. They got that simulator on that's was making it hotter. And the 5G tower soon to be 8G. Yeah, I heard they coming out with the 6G. I heard some places, RC, they already got the 6G towers in certain places. I heard China got 7G in China. Yeah. China got 7G. Can't make this shit up. You know them motherfuckers over there ain't reproducing. And see the sad part about the 5G towers, it fucks with your reproductive system. It fucks with a woman's reproductive system, and it messes with man's sperm system. And this is why, birth rates is dropping as well. I'm gonna make another video or another live about the decrease, about how birth rates is decreasing. Another reason why birth rates is decreasing is because of these 5G towers and these data centers. So, most men, they can't really bust nuts. They ain't gonna tell you that. But it's some sad shit that's going on in the world. And y'all wonder why it's a lot of men that's not having kids. The reason why a lot of men is not having kids, it's not just because, the economy or the cost of living. Most men can't have kids. They can't bust no nuts. I'm keeping it real with you. Most men can't have kids. Most women can't have kids. Because of these 5G towers and all this radiation is fucking up our reproductive system as humans. It's fucking us up. So now we can't even reproduce. We can't even reproduce like we normally should be reproducing. Most men can't bust a nut. That's why they having what they call erection issues, and most men can't even get their shit hard.
Yeah.
I'm just keeping it real. No homo. But we dealing with some biological shit that's going on right now. This shit is fucking up our minds, and it's fucking up our reproductive system, and it's fucking up our, just the makeup of our beings. You feel me? A lot of women can't have kids because of these 5G towers. Because of the radiation that's in the air. Erectile, there you go, erectile dysfunction, yeah. And so, that's why I want my people over here on True Media, man, make sure you take baths. Make sure you take baths to get the metals out of your system, because a lot of us have a lot of metals in our system. That's why I want y'all to start sun gazing. I don't give a fuck how hot that sun get. You better take your ass outside and get you some sunlight so you can get rid of the metals out of your body. Get rid of the metals out of your body, man. Yeah, I know the sun getting hot, but get your ass outside and get you some sunlight. Learn how to sun gaze, and you ain't got to do it all day long, but at least do it for 15 to 20 minutes out of your day. Get outside and get you some sunlight, so it can detoxify, the metals out of your blood. Because once that shit get in your bloodstream, once those metals get in your bloodstream, that shit causes cancer. It causes cancer, and it causes all type of inflammation. It causes all type of issues with the reproductive system. It causes all kind of, illnesses and viruses. So make sure you get outside and you get you some sunlight, even if it's just for like 10 to 15 minutes throughout your day. Make sure you look up at the sun gaze, get that energy from the sun. We need that shit. We need that energy, man. That's what keeps the earth reproducing. The sun. The sun is what keeps the earth reproducing. And, it's so many reasons why the sun is heating up. But just because the sun is heating up, that ain't got nothing to do with you and me. If you know you a chosen child of God and you know you operating at a high frequency, you ain't gotta be scared of the temperature of the sun rising. That ain't gonna affect us. We ain't gonna be affected. We spiritual. So it ain't gonna affect us. So you ain't got nothing to worry about. If that sun in the sky was to get hot, if that sun in the sky was to get 300 degrees hotter, if your frequency is where it needs to be at, you ain't got nothing to worry about. If your frequency is at a certain level, it don't matter how hot the sun get, it ain't gonna affect us. The sunlight is only affecting the people who have such a low frequency. You feel me? And I'm not telling you to just stand out in the sun and, you ain't got no water and you ain't hydrated. That wouldn't be a smart thing to do. But what I'm telling you is the people that's getting affected by the sun the most is the people who's not tapped into, their spiritual nature. See, the sun ain't gonna, it's not gonna, only thing it's gonna do for us that's spiritual is give us more downloads and give us more energy. You feel me? I know you caught, hey Wizard, you caught that I said 300 degrees. Hey Wizard, hey Wizard, hey you caught that shit. I said 300 degrees.
3, 2, 1, go!
Hey Wizard, bro, I knew somebody was gonna catch that shit. I said 300 degrees, shit, nigga. Hey, not to be dramatic, but the point I'm trying to make is the hotter the sun get, the more downloads the spiritual is gonna come, like the more synchronicities we gonna get. It's gonna increase our energy. Cause sun is energy. That's all sun is energy. The energy on the earth is increasing. So as the energy on the earth increases, those that's tapped into their divine nature, our energy is gonna increase. So the sun ain't doing nothing but helping us. It's helping us by increasing our energy. You feel what I'm talking about? And so you gotta remember and understand, man, the earth is really like 200 degrees. It's really like 150 degrees. They just not telling you that. It's really like 150 degrees outside. It's really like 200 degrees outside, for real. They just not gonna put that on the news because they don't want to scare you. They don't want to scare you, so they ain't gonna put that on the news. But it's really like 200 degrees outside. I'm keeping it real with you. But they ain't gonna put that on the news, though. They ain't gonna put that shit on the news because they don't want to scare. They don't want you to. They don't want people to start panicking and shit. Let me see. We coming on in. Yeah. Yeah. Damn, boy, we got a lot of people in the building. Hell yeah, shit. I know down south, y'all see. Listen, I know y'all over there that's in North Carolina, and y'all over there that's in New York. Y'all better listen. Y'all better stay hydrated. I've been over there. Listen, y'all out there in Florida. If you in Miami, Florida, or Jacksonville, or Tampa Bay, listen. Y'all better make sure, y'all better be careful out there, because y'all got a bad humidity problem. It's real bad out there. That shit ain't no game, man. Real talk. Okay, let me see. I'm trying to catch up. Come on, already. Damn, man. Damn. Okay, Florida. Okay, we right here. Tracy and this thing say very hot down here in Louisiana. What part of Louisiana you in, Tracy? Because I was out there in Kentwood, Louisiana, with my peoples and shit. It was hella hot out there. Erie God, what's good with you, Erie God? I see you in this thing, big dog. Say, what's up, True? What's good with your family? I see you in a place to be. The wizard in this thing. I'm gonna just say wizard. Say, what's good, fam? I see you in this thing, big dog. Big Junior in this thing. Say, how look, man? Everything looking good, big dog. I appreciate you tuning in, Junior. You already know it's always a pleasure. It's always number love, man. Appreciate you tuning in, big dog. Split say, I done seen some ish. I done seen. Shout out to the brother Split for going to go check out your brother True, aka Young Cheese album. You feel me? That legit album. Yeah, a lot of people liking that album, man. I appreciate everybody going out they way to show some love to the album and shit like that, screaming the album and you know all that stuff like that, man. And you know something about that album, legit that I just put out. Most of those songs I've been made those songs over 5 years ago. I've been like most of those songs that was on that album that I just released called Legit. I made most of them songs over 5 years ago, but I didn't want to keep it, just stored up. I felt like I'm gonna just put the shit out. You feel me? Because I got so many other albums that's waiting for the, to be released, and I'm like, let me just put this shit out. You feel what I'm saying? Sometimes you just gotta push shit out. But the new shit, I got some new shit. Y'all gonna be like, bro, this you? This ain't you, bro. Y'all gonna be like, bro, this ain't you, bro. This ain't you, bro. The new shit gonna be like, y'all. Now the legit, the shit that I just put out, that's new shit. To y'all is new. But the other shit that I'm about to put, y'all gonna be like, bro, this can't be you right here, bro. Like, that shit, bro. I'm talking about crazy, bro. So y'all stay tuned, man. I got 4-5 albums put up, ready to be released. But I have to put that legit album out, though. You know what I mean? And appreciate everybody tuning in to it, too, and listening to it, man. It's all love. Distract say, what's good with you, Distract? I see you in this thing, big dog. I appreciate all the donations, man. It's all love. Jerome in this thing say, we know just enough to extinct. I give it 20 years before complete extinction of humans. But I'm an optimist. Well, if you speaking on behalf of the 5G towers, yeah, that shit can fuck us up. But if you speaking on behalf of natural sunlight, like humans is not gonna go extinct because of natural sunlight. Now we can go extinct because of these centers and these motherfucking 5G towers. You feel what I'm talking about? And that's why we gotta start speaking up about this shit, man. Real talk. JD say ball, believe ball. FJ in this thing say, yup, man-made. All this shit man-made. Bro, Nisi in this thing say, hey, True, what's good with you, Nisi? I see you in this thing. How you doing? Jerome say, I'd buy enough food to say for a year that will give you 12 months to decide if eating the neighbors is a good idea. Depending on the neighbors, you may need a decent barbecue sauce. Just hold up, Jerome. You eat people? Jerome, you eat humans, big dog? You been eating humans, my boy? Cause this what you put, Jerome. So I'm just trying to, cause I know it's people out here that's man eaters. I know it's people out here that's man eaters. Believe me, ask my girl. She a hell of a man eater. I get ate almost every night. Shout out to my girl, man. She probably watching shit. So I know it's man eaters out here, damn it. Shit, my girl a hell of a man eater. But I'm talking all seriously stuff, all seriously. Jerome, you said you eat people. Oh, I ain't gonna say you said that, but then what you put. You said I'll buy enough food, say for a year, that will give you 12 months to decide if eating the neighbors is a good idea. Depending on the neighbors, you may need a decent barbecue sauce. I'm just saying. Why would you put some shit like that, though, Jerome? Why would you say some shit like that, big dog? You out here eating people and shit, bro? Shit, man. You gotta be careful with your boy Jerome, man. He said he'd eat a motherfucker. Jake reading this thing, say, peace, God. I see you in this thing, Jake. What's good with you, big dog? Appreciate you tuning in. JD say sun is local. In the firmament. No outer space. No outer space. No outer space. The sun is local. Absolutely. The earth is flat. The sun and the moon is energy. That's what they is. They energy. And it's not out of the realm it's not out of the firmament or outside the firmament. The sun is inside the firmament. But see, a lot of people don't know that. You feel what I'm talking about? In fact, they even did a study that I seen not too long ago, how the military, because you know the military always probing with God's earth and trying to fuck with shit. That's why we in a predicament we in right now, because people always like to probe. They don't like to mind their business. So they went towards the sun, right? And they found out that the sun was a ball of energy. It wasn't even really there. All praises to the Most High. Didn't he do it? Didn't she do it? That's why I tell y'all, man, listen, God is the greatest to ever do it. When they went to the sun, right, they thought it was going to be like a ball of fire or some shit like that. Nah. It was a gang of energy. A gang of energy that was lit up. You feel what I'm talking about? And this energy, listen. This is why I be telling y'all, I'm going to skip down to the bottom because I'm about to get ready to say some real shit. This why I be telling y'all, stop believing everything y'all hear and stop believing everything that NASA put out. You know, NASA be full of bullshit. You know, NASA, when I went to NASA, right? Because NASA is in California. And when we used to go to field trips all the time to NASA, right? And I used to ask a lot of questions. And they didn't like me as a student. They didn't like me because they said, you know what? You ask a lot of questions. But I always knew it was something not right about NASA. I knew it was something not right about them. See, the thing about them is they want everybody to believe that the sun is a ball in the sky with lava all around it. This is the bullshit they made us believe as kids growing up. They made everybody think that the sun is a ball in the sky with a lot of volcanoes and, eruptions with different volcanoes and lava and all that is bullshit. The sun is energy. The sun is a potent state of energy. At its core, that's what the sun is. It's energy. That's why you can see the sun. You can see it. You can see through it. You can see through the sun. If you really was to watch the sun, if you got these 2020, my shit is like 2020. I got the best pair of eyes God made the man. I'm telling you, my shit is fantastic. Listen, when you really look at the sun, if you really looking at it through your spiritual eyes, you can see through it. Just like you can see through the moon. You can see through the moon because it's a ball of energy. Now, people think it's a rock in space. It's not a rock in space. It's a ball of energy. You feel what I'm talking about? And it's transparent. See, the sun is transparent. The moon is transparent. You see what I'm talking about? And so that's why when they tell people we landed on the moon in 1963, Neil Armstrong, man, that's all bullshit. That's all man-made. Ain't nobody went to the moon, nigga. You can't get to the moon. You can't get to the moon. You feel what I'm talking about? And so we gotta remember what the sun is. The sun is energy. It's not a ball of a rock in the sky with volcanoes erupting, you know, every minute and every second. That's all fake. The sun is energy, and it's right underneath the firmament. It's right underneath the firmament. You feel what I'm talking about? It's a trip. It's a trip. Yeah, y'all crazy. Let me skip up a little bit. I'm gonna try to skip down real quick. All right, you know what? I'm gonna start because it's a lot of good questions. Okay, we was right here. We good. Rare Raider in this thing say, "Sup, brother?" in the chat. What's good with you, Rare Raider? We see you in this thing, big dog. Hope everything going well with you, man. Distracted say, yeah, man, it's the movie that saved Marvel. Yeah. And this is why they put a lot of this shit in the movies. They put all this shit in the movies. Like they fooling somebody. And I'm gonna tell y'all this too. And now that we on it, now that we having this discussion, I'm gonna tell y'all what kind of stuff to pay attention to when it comes to TV shows and movies. Pay attention to sci-fi movies. Boy, I used to hate sci-fi movies, but now I love sci-fi movies. I love them. It's just like when I was younger. I used to hate avocado. I used to hate the shit out of onions. I couldn't stand tomatoes when I was younger. Now I love avocados. Now I love me some, you know, nice diced and sliced onions. Now I love, you know, me some tomatoes and shit with my cucumbers. See, the thing about it is, sci-fi movies is giving you a lot of what's really going on. The sci-fi movies and shit, you know, the shit that they don't really promote, but they'll put it on TV, but you gotta catch it. You gotta be woke to catch them sci-fi movies. A lot of that shit be the real shit. You feel me? But the thing about it is, even with Marvel, they put a lot of the truth in there as well, but they just try to get people to believe that it's fiction. They try to get, you know, they try to get people to believe that it's fictional characters, you know, it's just all fictional, but really that shit is real. You feel what I'm talking about? It's crazy, man. Bumby in the stand say it's happening now. They can't, they can't sleep. Naomi in this thing say, hey, True. What's good with you, Naomi? I see you in this thing. Thank you for tuning in, sis. Glad to see you back in the place to be. Raiden say Mortal Kombat. Sheer laughing. Wizard say, and these the same beings that run the earth. The same ones, bro. They're the same ones that run this shit. And the government take orders, or, you know, let's name it, the Rothschilds, the Hiltons, even the Jesuits. That's another group. It's not the Illuminati, but it's another secret society, a group of people. But you have these different families and these corporations and these different you know, you got all these different, you got all these different groups and shit and families. They get their orders from, you know, them peoples and shit. You feel what I'm talking about? Making me lose my train of thought. Rare Raider say the freaks come out at night. Yep, they can't stand the heat. Bumby say agree. Sheer say truthfully. Bumby laughing. Tiffany say, hey, True and everyone, for real, speak those facts. Hey, Tiffany, I see you in this thing, sis. Appreciate you tuning in, sis. It's been a minute. Easter Wiley say, True Media, 100. Deuces. I see you in this thing, Easter Wiley. Thank you for tuning in. Platinum Mile in this thing. What's good with you, Platinum? Say, okay, I see what you're talking about. Nate say, it's the humidity. It's the humidity, bro. That's what's gonna kill you in New York. I'm telling you, that shit almost killed me. Platinum Mile say, what's up, True Media? Man, I can't call it big dog. Just out here, you know, trying to stay out of this 200-degree weather. You feel what I'm talking about with all these damn 5G towers and shit cooking the nigga. Feel what I'm talking about? RC say, North Carolina, East Coast. Yeah, I knew North Carolina was the East Coast. Yeah, y'all got a very bad humidity problem over there, man. Even Florida got a very bad humidity problem. So if y'all ain't used to the East Coast and that humidity, I'm telling you right now, I advise you, listen, you better go when it's not that hot. Real talk. Easter Wiley said Atlanta is the South. Yeah, it is. Yeah, Atlanta is like the Southeast, right? Atlanta. Soul say I'm from Canada, so it's humid. Okay. Yeah, I never been to Canada before. YW say, what's going on? True, I was supposed to go to Miami, but ended up going to St. Augustine Beach instead. Hey man, that's not a bad choice either though, YW. Shit, that sound like a hell of a trip right now, man. Real talk. Hope you enjoyed it though, brother. Abathano say, from dusk till dawn, another one about the sun burning vampires, demons. Why you think they block out the sun? They know how important the sun is to us as humans. They know how important this shit is. Out of all things, why would you fuck with the sun? Do y'all ever sit back to ask yourself that shit? Out of all the things that the government, the military, and these shapeshifters, out of all the things they can fuck with, why do they fuck with the sun? Why the sun? Why you fucking with the sun? Why? It lets you know that everybody ain't human. And most of them vampires and shit, they can't withstand the heat from the sun. They can't. They need that shit to be either, you know, cold, or they need this shit to be like to where the sun ain't cooking their ass.
And then your name say I love the Spanish.
And that's why most of them come out at night. Most of the shapeshifters, they come out at night. Glacier say, greetings, fam. May the good Lord keep. May the good Lord keep y'all. I appreciate that, Glacier. Peace and blessings to you too. RC say at Platinum, what's going on, bro? Easter Wiley say South Carolina is where I'm from. Yeah, I know South Carolina will sneak up on you though with that heat. People be underestimating cities like South Carolina, North Carolina. Hell, most people don't even know that it get hot in Texas. People think that, you know, Texas is just full of rain and snow, or, you know, no, nigga, it get hot in Texas. I'm talking about it get real hot in Texas, like Dallas, Houston, Waco, Austin. Man, I've been out there a lot of times. It get real hot in Texas, man. Real talk. They say it's windy though. Yeah. Platinum Mouse say, what's going on, RC? I'm doing well in the sun. What about you, brother? Wizard say, I'm from Alabama. They say the wind blows. That's why I love it there. Yeah. She'll say for real. Platinum say, it's cookie crisp out this beat. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's crazy. Soul say, yeah, YW say it be 102 degrees in New York in the summertime. But the humidity make it just make that shit, it make it even worse, bro. I'm telling you, bro. Listen, New York and all that shit over there on the East Coast, bro, that shit almost killed me, bro. That shit almost took me out the game, boy. Platinum Mouse said the frequency is rising. Absolutely, that's what's going on. That's exactly what's going on. YW say, okay, Soul say Canada is hot as F. Yeah, I never been to Canada. I never knew somebody that, you know, lived out there that told me what the temperatures was like when it comes to the weather out there in Canada. But pretty much everywhere on the earth is dealing with an increase of high temperature, of high temperatures from the sun and shit. So pretty much everywhere on Earth and shit right now is having a, you know, battles and struggles when it comes to this heat wave and shit. The Platinum say facts. Narnia say it's hot everywhere. Yup, it's hot everywhere. Everywhere you go, you can't escape it. Platinum Mouse say that's good at RC. It's been all type of ish going on everywhere, bro. You hear about the CERN shutting down. Yeah, I heard about that. I heard about that too, Platinum. CERN ass shut down. But you know, that's a cover up though, Platinum. They done already opened up hella portals. Shit, they might as well go on as hell and shut down. May Unique Beauty in the stain say yes. What's good with you, Unique? I see you in the stain, sis. Sherry in the stain say, okay, Sherry, you can do that. RC said a Platinum Owl. Yeah, I did hear about it. Something about to go down. Yeah, every time they shut something like CERN, every time you hear something like CERN getting shut down or something like that, it's a cover up. They putting something together. YW say humidity will kill you in Atlanta too. Yeah, man, I'm pretty. Yeah, see, I ain't never been to Atlanta though. Cher say blazing. The Platinum say definitely they trying to open up portals through the CERN to use the God gene, aka our life force, to make one big ass AI world. Well, they pretty much did. They pretty much they opened up a few portals. They opened up a few portals. The thing about it is, what they doing is they getting ready to present some different shit to the world. So when they tell you that they closed down CERN, they didn't close CERN. That was just a cover up for a, you know, it was like a storyline to get everybody to follow that storyline, and they about to present something else that most people ain't even ready for. So what they do every time they try to transition to do something else, they try to give everybody a fake storyline to run with, like shutting down CERN, when we know they not shutting down CERN. You feel what I'm talking about? They got a million different motherfucking CERNs all over the earth, but they want you to believe that, you know what I mean? So they can usher in this new agenda without you recognizing it or without you noticing it. So while they got you over here focused on CERN, they slowly but surely ushering in some other shit through the back door. They coming in through the back door with some other shit that most people, you know, ain't even ready for, and it's gonna catch a lot of people off guard. And so a lot of these, you know, anytime something go viral or it catches the headlines and it become like a worldwide, you know, story, question that shit. It's always a catch-22 to those kind of stories. Naomi say it's hot here in Ohio. Y'all need it though. Ohio get hella cold. I heard Ohio. Listen, Naomi, I heard that it get like 10 below in Ohio. It get hella cold out there. So y'all should be enjoying it. Hey, look. Hey, Naomi, I heard it get hella hot. I heard it get hella cold in Ohio. So y'all better be enjoying it. Hey, Naomi, y'all better be enjoying the sun while y'all got it. Cause I heard that Ohio get hella cold. Like it's like Chicago. Like, you feel me? It get hella cold. So yeah, y'all better be enjoying the sun while y'all got it out there, Naomi. Cause Ohio, it get hella cold out there from what I was hearing. Let me see real quick. Oh shit, that's crazy though. Let me see. Sheer say, damn, Mr. Wiley say New York is concrete jungle. Yeah. It definitely is. Soul say, yeah. Captain J, what's good with you, Jay? I see you in this thing, man. Say, brother, True Media, what's good? Hope all is well. Man, all is well with me, man. Hope all is well with you too, brother. Rare Raider say, probably so many heads in New York, there's less oxygen to go around. Man, listen, New York is crowded. Crowded, bro. Like, it's so busy in New York, bro. I never seen, I'm from California, I'm from the Bay Area, but I've never seen a place that's busy like New York. Bro, it's so much going on in New York. Bro, it's like, it's so busy out there, bro. Like, bro, like New York, bro, hella busy, bro. Like, that shit crazy, bro. Like, I'm like, damn, can't drive nowhere because the traffic out there in New York, the worst traffic I ever seen in my life, bro. It's so fucked up. Shit, LA ain't got nothing on New York traffic. San Francisco ain't got nothing on New York traffic. That shit is fucked up. I'm gonna keep it real with you, bro. RC say at Platinum Out, that's their end goal, to take the God gene away from us. They doing it slowly but for surely, but it's already here. Yup. Young Stepper say, yo, 100. I see you in the stain, Stepper. What's going on with you, big dog? Soul say, yup. I'm gonna just say Dino. Dino say, sampling you on my new song, family, you be going in. I appreciate you, Dino. It's all love. Yeah, man, I get down with the music shit, man. And I know how to play the real instruments, too. So don't fuck with me when it comes to that. Nigga, you don't know how to play the piano, boy. I'll push a note on your ass. You'll be like, damn, this nigga pushing notes. Damn, boy, where you learn to play the piano at? Because, you know, the piano is my favorite instrument. Where I learned to play the piano at is in church. But I'm going to put all that in the book. Y'all be on the lookout for the book, Pain and Perseverance, coming soon. I'm going to put how, you know, where I got my music, my music talent and how I learned how to play instrumentals. And, you know, I all got that shit from church. And it's all going to be in the book. You feel what I'm saying? So y'all be on the lookout for that. But yeah, man, I appreciate you sampling me on one of the new songs. It's all love, big dog. Let's get it. Jerry in this thing. YW say it's almost dark, though. New York in the middle of the day. Time in the summer is no joke. Yeah, man, and I know what it's probably about 8 o'clock out there in New York, right? Because that's East Coast time. That's East Coast time. It's probably like 8 o'clock out there. Shii say insane. Wizard say cell phones cause cancer too. Yeah, absolutely. Because the cell phones is the frequency that's being released from these cell phones comes from these towers, comes from these data centers, and it comes from these 5G and 6G towers. So that frequency that's coming through the cell phone, it get off in your, it literally get in your bloodstream. It get in your bloodstream. And this is why a lot of people is being diagnosed with all kind of illnesses out the blue, because the cell phone, and this is why, listen, this is why I highly encourage y'all and advise y'all, when you take a bath, for the people who like to wash their ass, you know, because everybody don't like to wash their ass. But for the people who do like to wash their ass, when you take a bath, pour some bleach in it. Get you some pneumonia, pour some pneumonia in there, get you some Epsom salt or some sea salt, pour you some sea salt in the bathtub, and that way you can get rid of all the metals out of your body. You can get all that shit out of your body. You feel what I'm talking about? Because that shit ain't good for your health. Real talk. RC say it's true. Daniel say, Danielle say, I'm glad you're back because you make the best live videos. I appreciate that, sis. You already know. Every time we step on the camera, you know it's gonna be teaching and preaching. There's gonna be a whole lot of wisdom and jewels and game being dropped for you to use, and that's what it's all about. Each one teach one. You dig what I'm talking about? And I appreciate you tuning in, Danielle, and always being a positive a positive voice on every live that we do. It's always good to have you. Mega say,
Most people think their mental health is something they need to deal with alone, but the truth is, having someone in your...
Shout out to the WTC gang. We'll be back with another banger. Everybody was acting so fucking weird on the 4th of July. And the Holy Spirit sent me to tell each and every chosen one across the world to stay isolated if you're either free, independent, or successful. Do you guys remember what I say prior to the 4th of July? To stay out the way and pray, pray, pray. No, but everybody want to do the opposite. Everybody was in the way. Oh, the devil had his way. This 4th of July weekend. Do you guys realize what just happened in Newport Beach on the 4th of July? All those crowds of people, different ethnicities, acting a complete fool, causing confusion and chaos. When are we going to do better as people? When are we going to do better as America? Because 402 people was arrested on 4th of July. And they called this Independence Day. I don't want to hear this message, man. And no, I'm not racist. I love all my ethnicities. But I got something to say specifically to my kind, African Americans. You know I'm getting ready to go in. It's sad to even see or to get a negative response from a brother that's the same color as me. I'm wishing all the brothers happy 4th. We free, we independent, we successful, and they looking at my ass like I'm crazy. And they call this Independence Day. This is a day when we're supposed to come together in unity. This is a day we're supposed to come together and pray. Family that prays together stays together. But no, everybody want to look at me like I'm weird. Everybody want to give me weird vibes, awkward energy. Sometimes I just want to shake these fools up and say, do you even care about this holiday? Do you even realize that you're free? Do you even know what this holiday is about? But no, we want to constantly go against each other. Yes, I'm talking to the African Americans right now. We want to kill each other, take each other up out of here, not even knowing we dominant. We free, we independent. And if these fools don't realize that, guess what? What makes you think that the spiritual wickedness in high places is going to realize that we free? They don't care. They're trying to lock you up even more. Did I forget to mention what happened in the city of Compton? Good brother by the name of Mr. Williams. Rest in peace to his soul. Who was a leader for the city of Compton, who tried to give back to the community, man. Ended up getting shot and killed doing a mass shooting in the city of Compton, and that's where I'm from. Well, let me tell you, a prophet is not accepted in his or her hometown. As I say, chosen, if you are free, independent, or successful, you need to stay isolated. The Bible says we are in this world, but we are not of this world. Do you guys see what just happened the same day of the FIFA World Cup? Do you guys realize that racism still exists? 4 people were shot and killed in South LA. More people were killed and shot during this FIFA World Cup. Because people don't know how to act. People don't know how to take a loss. We got to wake up and realize that this is spiritual warfare. This ain't a personal, this ain't a physical warfare battle. We ain't wrestling against people, flesh and blood. But one thing I've noticed, I sit back and I pay attention on the 4th of July. I pay attention the prior day, a couple of days prior to the 4th of July. I even sit back and observe and pay attention to the spirits after the 4th of July. Devil is roaming around and he's roaring like a lion. And he is seeking to whom he may devour at this time. For those of you guys that tapped in and are woke in the spiritual realm, you see exactly what's happening. And I wonder why my grandmother used to say, baby, put on your war clothes on and be ready for war. Child, it's terrible out there. And I realize the older that I've gotten, it's getting more worse and worse and worse. It seems like there is no hope for the younger generation. Think about what I'm saying. There is no hope for the future. You mean to tell me these fools got money to feed the war, but you ain't got money to feed the poor?
Yellow.
Y'all think God is pleased with this nation? You think God is pleased with America? He is disappointed in us. And we got the nerve to say, in God we trust. Nine times out of 10, I don't even think people really fear the Lord like that. Because if you fear the Lord, the Bible says, when you fear the Lord, to fear the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. To fear the Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
Bitch.
So when you fear God, guess what? You should have knowledge and wisdom, understanding to know that, wait a minute, if I do anything wrong in the eyesight of God, He's going to get me. There's one man I do not play with, and that's the Almighty God. What you reap is what you sow. And now it's getting to the point where you can't even compliment nobody, you can't speak to nobody anymore, you can't even say Grand Rising without somebody acting fucking weird, man. And I'm getting tired of it, man. We gotta wake up and realize that we're in spiritual warfare, so you're gonna be around a lot of bots, you're gonna be around a lot of NPCs, you're gonna be around a lot of low vibrational entities. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but the devil has been sending demonic entities to jump bodies to attack God's chosen, independent, free, and successful people. Y'all better wake up and pay attention to what's going on. And one thing I did notice is that the chosen ones is out the way. See, I went out for a little bit, spent time with my immediate family for a little bit, but I went out in the morning, and guess what? Everybody was inside. Come on in, hype me up. I'm getting ready to go in. Everybody was inside in the wee hours of the morning with nobody barbecuing. I didn't even smell no barbecue. The people that was barbecuing, wish them a happy 4th, and guess what? The response was weird. The response was negative. What are you barbecuing for? Some of y'all wondering why you was feeling weird vibes and weird energy, negative spirits on people on the 4th of July. Even afterwards, it's because we living in the last evil days. The devil knows that his time is up. The devil knows that the meek is getting ready to inherit the earth. There's too much happening in this country. There's too much happening in America, and I'm getting tired of it. If anybody's going to stand up, it's going to be the chosen ones. So I'm telling you right now, chosen ones, please stand up. Please stand up. We got to come together in real life. What part you don't realize that it's going to be the good versus the evil? What part you don't realize, children, that guess what? We are outnumbered. There's only 144,000 of us. But if God be for us, can nobody, no devil in hell be against us?
Fuck yeah.
Sometimes I want to ask all ethnicities, all races all over the world, do you even care? Do y'all realize what's happening? Do we realize that all we got is each other? And some of y'all looking at me crazy when I say Jesus on his way back and he getting ready to destroy this world with brimstone and fire. If we don't get our act together, if we don't be on one accord in the spiritual realm and start coming together, not only in fasting and praying, but coming together, helping one another, loving one another, where has this world gone to? We lost as people, we lost as a nation. Stay isolated because you free. Don't you be afraid of putting up and say, I'm free, I'm independent, I am successful. Guess what happens when you in the way? You officially become a target. I see innocent bystanders become a target just by being in the way. We live in the last few days where you can't even be in the way. And the more I notice, the more I'm out the way, the more I bless God's name. The more I'm out the way, the more I'm praying for this nation. The more I'm out the way, the more free I become. The more I'm out the way, the more independent I am. I ain't got to depend on nobody. I ain't got to depend on this outside world, the outside control. I'm not controlled by influence or support. Because God is in control of my life. God told me to tell you, if you are successful, stay isolated.
Sir.
Because the devil, I'm telling you what he's doing right now. He's trying to take out all God's chosen people. So guess what the devil does when he can't get a hold of God's chosen people? Guess what he does? He goes after the people that are lost. Yeah, he goes after the people that are full of confusion, full of division. Come on, somebody. He's going after somebody that's arguing over freaking soccer game. He's going after people, amen, that are fighting amongst each other. He's going after, amen, people that really fully don't know the Lord. He's going after people that is not steadfast, that is not unmovable, that is not abiding in the work of God. That was very smart.
67% of bellies will go unflopped this summer. Don't become a summer.
I don't know what happened to this world. I don't know what happened to America, but everything has changed over the years. And I want y'all to put in the comments below. Tell me what y'all think about this 4th of July weekend. I need you to put in the comments below, man. Am I the only one feeling these weird vibes and negative energy on people, man? You know what's the problem? Social media. They done turned the majority of these people into bots and NPCs and low vibrational entities. Social media.
Everywhere.
People can't go anywhere without looking at their phones. Social media. People do anything for attention. Social media. And there's a real reason why I'm telling all the chosen ones to stay isolated right now. Because guess what God says in his word? You would never know the time or the hour or the second I shall return. He's going to come back in a twinkling of an eye. don't turn our life over to Jesus, if we don't start doing right in the eyesight of God, it's going to be too late. Because God already going to sweep up his people in the rapture, the ones that really belong to him. God will take his people to the heavens gates, the ones that have been really serving him and that have been treating other people with love and kindness and that's been, amen, following, amen, his footsteps. Let me tell you what God's getting ready to do. He's on his way back.
Hello.
Just like God sent his only begotten son and they called him Jesus. Look what they did to him. They crucified him, but they couldn't finish him. He still rose on the third day with all power in his hands. He still ascended to the next level. I don't know who needed this message. And just like God sent his only begotten son the first time, you best believe that God Almighty is getting ready to send his son a second time. And don't you be afraid of him and say it's a second coming of Jesus Christ and he's on his way back. I said, don't you be afraid to put in the comment below and say, Jesus, save me from this world. Save me from the pits of hell. Save me, Father God. Because one thing you don't want to be left behind. So y'all thinking there's all kind of confusion and chaos and division happening right now? All these wildfires and people tearing up this country. You think it's happening? You think that's bad right now? One thing you don't want to get left behind after the rapture. Because now you really got to fight up against spiritual wickedness in high places. You really got to make a choice to make whether you're going to take that mark of the beast. You really got a choice to make whether you're going to be on the Lord's side or you're going to be on the devil's side. And don't you be afraid to put in come below. Say, I've been running for Jesus a long time, and I'm not tired yet. Come on, somebody, put in come below. Say, I've been running for Jesus a long time, and I'm just ain't tired yet. Let me tell you something about the chosen ones. We are the truth. Truth. We are the truth. And we got to be careful if you are speaking the truth and you living by the truth and you living by the Spirit of God. You got to be careful. Because let me tell you what I found out. The truth has a lot of enemies. Oh yeah, the truth has many enemies, but a lie has many friends. Come on, somebody. Let me say that one more time for the ones in the back because I don't think you heard me. I said the truth has a lot of enemies. Come on, somebody. The truth got many enemies, but a liar has many friends. And if you really pay attention and look around you, guess what? The chosen is always by themselves. Because you know why? We the truth. We speak the truth. We live the truth. Pay attention to people that always around people, always in circles and around large crowds. People are liars. These people are workers of iniquity, operating under these demonic spirits. Oh God, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but the devil has been sending demonic entities. He's sitting back and watch. He sends demonic entities to your body to attack you. That's why you can't really see these demonic entities. Because guess what? They're already inside of people. What part you understand? This is spiritual warfare. Devil wants your soul. Devil wants your spirit. But don't you be afraid of putting up below children and say, my spirit belongs to God. My soul belongs to God. My body, it belongs to God. Do you understand what I'm saying? Tripping, man, when I put out this video a few days prior to the 4th of July. But I always do what the Holy Spirit tells me to do. I always put out what the Holy Spirit tells me to put out. I need y'all to hype me up because I'm getting ready to go in. Some of y'all are looking at me crazy.
Damn.
This is the Tempur-Pedic Breeze mattress, and it's designed to help you feel cool. So no more sweating all night, no kicking off the covers or blasting the air conditioning, because only the Tempur-Pedic Breeze is made with our one-of-a-kind cooling technology. It pulls heat away from your body, so the mattress feels up to 10 degrees cooler all night long. If you're tired of sleeping hot, shop at Ashley today to experience the Tempur-Pedic.
Some of y'all think I just be yelling at the phone. No, I'm a prophet of God. And when God sends his prophet, you got to listen and take heed to the warning that the prophet is sending you. I don't know what it is message. Bible says warning come before destruction, a haughty spirit before a fall. Look how many people out there on the 4th of July or the 4th of July weekend had a haughty spirit out there.
Yeah.
And guess what? They all failed. They all fall. 402 people arrested. Children, we out the way. We at home enjoying our plate of barbecue. We probably was spending time with immediate friends and immediate family members. Some of y'all brought in the 4th of July or the 4th of July weekend safe. Thank God for that. Because you followed the instructions that God gave me. Thank God that you're alive today. Pray for the ones that lost their lives on the 4th of July weekend. We could have done so much more better. But I've realized that guess what? This world can't do any better because they don't know any better. I don't know any of this message. And 9 times out of 10, the majority of people, they know better. They know what they're doing. You know, I know people know what they're doing because when Jesus comes back, when the second coming of Jesus Christ returns, guess what's getting ready to happen? Every knee shall bow. Every tongue shall confess. I don't care if people know exactly what they're doing, but your knee gonna bow. Your tongue gonna confess that Jesus Christ is Lord. The Bible says every knee shall bow. Even if you don't believe, you're gonna bow when you see Jesus coming. But by the time Jesus comes back, guess what? It's going to be too late. Yeah, for the ones, amen, that didn't know, for the ones that did know, for the ones that was out here committing crimes, and for the ones out here, amen, that was sinning against the will of God, let me tell you something, man. Whether you bow or whether you don't bow, let me tell you something. You still got to see Jesus on Judgment Day. And let me tell you, when Jesus come back, one person you don't want to make upset is Jesus Christ. Y'all see what he did in the Bible days when he came to the temples and he was flipping over the tables and everything. That's nothing. Jesus can destroy this whole world with fire and brimstone. Watch what I tell you. Y'all think this is something on the 4th of July? Y'all think the Rodney King ride was something? You ain't seen nothing yet when Jesus returned. He gonna destroy the whole world and build it back again. He gonna build this world better than ever. I don't know when to get this message. It's getting to the point where you can't compliment nobody no more. Y'all better wake up and pay attention and see what times we living in. You can't even speak to people anymore. Because people ain't free in their minds. Majority of people ain't independent. Majority of people are not successful. This is why they acting a complete fool right now. I don't know what it is message. What part you don't understand, children? That we're going through a recession. We're going through an inflation. And on top of that, racism is kicking back in like never before. Something ain't right with this picture, man. We got to come together in prayer and fasting and reading the Word of God and really supporting each other. And most importantly, we got to come together in unity, amen, uplifting the name of Jesus. There is power in the name of Jesus. There is power when we come together under the blood of the Lamb. There is power when we are praying together. I'm telling you, a family that prays together to stay together. But now all of a sudden, we want to come together when somebody got shot and killed. We want to come together and cry and weep and mourn because somebody, amen, has passed away. But what happens when everything is going good? That's when we really supposed to be coming together, man. Because one thing God showed me is that people don't really care about unity unless it's involved with one of their family members or one of their friends or something tragic that happened to them. That's when everybody want to come together. Look at the devil. But what happened to everybody coming together when the times are good, when God is blessing? What happened? This is a sad country that we're living in right now. Y'all think I'm just sitting up here just yelling at the phone? No. This is really a sad country that we live in right now, man. That's why I stayed isolated and I count my blessings. I made sure my butt got home, amen, before the fireworks start popping like crazy. Look what happened, y'all. That's why I stay at home. That's why I want to be bothered with nobody. Because I'm free, baby. I'm independent. I'm successful. I'm not trying to prove a point to people. As long as what I'm doing is pleasing in the eyesight of God, let me tell you something. I will be satisfied. I will be made whole. As long as God never tell me, depart from me, I never knew you on Judgment Day, I'm going to be good.
Schnucks just dropped new deals. Get these deals at Schnucks before they're gone.
Prepare yourself. Look. Take this. Take this. Damn, bitch. Take this. Take this. It's time. Fuck you. Shut up, bitch. Piece of cake. Take this. Take this. Take this. Take this. Take this. Fire.
Roster Finals showcasing the two most talked about prospects in the world.
Everybody is embarrassed because they messed up. Yes, sir. Let me say it loud. For my chosen ones in the back. Listen, family, everybody is embarrassed because they messed up. I need somebody to drop in the comments and say, you were always the problem. Yes, sir. Make sure you drop in the comments, family, and say you were always the problem. And that's what they can't stand, honestly. Now, family, that's not a condescending statement, all right? It's not a superior, complex type of statement. This is just straight real. Now, understand this, y'all. We are the chosen ones, but we're not the perfect ones, which means we can make mistakes. But in this particular scenario, in this particular situation, you showed up for this particular individual. You gave to this particular individual. You invested in this particular individual, and it still wasn't enough. They tried to blame you. They tried to make you look like the issue. They went on a smear campaign. They tried to tell people or convince people that you were not who you said you were. Better yet, that you were not who you showed yourself to be for years. You follow what I'm saying? And so now it's coming out that you've always been this particular person who you've shown yourself to be. You follow what I'm saying? And now it's looking like they messed up. And everybody who wronged you, everybody who participated in the smear campaign, the gossip, the rumors, everybody who tried to prey on your downfall, everybody who lied on you, everybody who said that you wasn't ish, are the ones who's realizing that, no, they messed up. No matter how much they tried to convince themselves, they messed up. That's all I'm saying, y'all. You follow what I'm saying? And so with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get directly into this banger. Everybody is embarrassed right now because they messed up. Misjudged you, prejudged you, they mishandled you. They didn't treat you the right way. And the list goes on, all right? But with that being said, y'all make sure y'all leave a thumbs up on this video as well as subscribe to the channel. Y'all be sure to ring my bell so you can be notified after every single video I post. Yes, y'all, this is the second video of today or tonight, however you want to call it. But fam, we're going to go ahead and get directly into it, okay? Number one, y'all, first thing is first. They chose someone else over you. Yeah. They chose someone else over you. See, it's not a problem when a person choose somebody over you. It's the fact that they've chosen them over you and it wasn't what they thought it was going to be, and now they're trying to come back. Nah, you got to stay over there, right? You don't get a second chance to stab me in the heart. You don't get a do-over to do me in again. I'm not going to open the door for a person who closed it in my face the first time. You get what I'm saying? Family, they chose someone else over you, maybe because they thought they looked better, maybe because they thought they had more, maybe because they thought that the opportunity would benefit them much more, or maybe they just thought that you wasn't it. Family, you always been him. You always been hurt. And just because a person can't see it, it does not mean that it don't exist. You follow what I'm saying, y'all? You take, for instance, that hot new artist, right? Maybe they got a hot new song, they got a hot new dance, they're trending, they're popular, whatever the case is, and everybody love them right now. Yeah, everybody love them right now. Question is, are they gonna love them 5, 10, 20 years from now? Right? I believe Michael Jackson came out in the 70s. If I'm not correct, maybe it's the 60s. Y'all can correct me down below in the comments, but we still talking about Michael Jackson to this day. We still making movies about him. We still making documentaries about him. You get what I'm saying? But the people who made Tootsie Roll, I don't know if we still talk about them. And it's no diss or disrespect to their record because it was a smash hit, but we ain't talking about the person who made Tootsie Roll. The point is, y'all, that's the hot new artist. Now you take the old popular artist, yeah, the person who's steady, still making hits, they got skin in the game. Yeah, they've been in the industry for a while now. People respect them. They just not hot but they still steady. These are like your Beyoncés. You know, one will argue Nicki Minaj because of her antics and stuff like that, but I'm gonna leave her out. I'm gonna just say your Beyoncés and Mariah Careys and people of that stature, right? They may not be the hot new artists, the Glorillas, the Mulattoes. You follow what I'm saying? The Ice Spices. They may not be that particular individuals or those particular individuals, but they can still sell out an arena. They can still get on stage and make good money. They can still do what they, came in the game doing. Everybody can't say that they have that type of leeway or even fans who's willing to pay for their time just to see their face. Reno, what are you saying right now? When you choose that hot new artist over the old popular artist, the one who's steady and got skin in the game, make sure that you can foresee if this hot new artist gonna be around longer than them, or the old popular artist, however you want to call it. The point is, y'all, is that when somebody chose that particular person over you, they thought that you were done. You were just getting started. And now this other person over here is nothing what they thought they were going to be. They're nothing like what they thought they was going to be. They're not doing anything that they thought they were going to do. It was all a facade, and they tricked themselves. Somebody drop in the comments and say you tricked yourself. Number 2, it's going to be this right here, fam. They mistreated you, mishandled you, and misjudged you. Yeah, let me say it louder for my chosen ones in the back, y'all. They mistreated you, mishandled you, and misjudged you. I know a lot of people go through this, whether it's on the job, within the family, the friend group, you're going to church, the gym, any public area. People mistreat you, mishandle you, and misjudge you. But let's get particular, right? The stepchild. The stepchild, let me say it like this, y'all. Stepchildren can be buttholes, all right? But in a perfect world, let's say if the stepchild...
Only Duracell. It's built different, with Power Boost ingredients. That's why goats like Messi only run on Duracell. Power Boost.
Is a good child, right? When the stepchild is showing up as a child should, they're not grown, they're not being a bit much, they're not being handsy, overly talkative, disrespectful, let's just call it what it is. They're not being disrespectful. If that step-parent, who can also be a butthole because they know that this is not their child, but in a perfect world, okay, the stepchild is just being a child, right? If that parent or step-parent does not see that stepchild as their actual child, all right, they're going to do what? Mistreat them. Why? That ain't my son. That ain't my daughter. I don't care. I ain't your daddy, right? Especially if a person is moving like that and they have those malicious intent in their heart, they gonna mistreat that stepchild to the T. They probably won't buy the child food. They probably won't, take the child out the way that they would take their own blood child out. Y'all get where I'm going with this, because they don't expect for that child to either A, be anything in life, B, you ain't my blood, so I don't care, or C, I ain't gonna be with your mama or daddy for long. Well, what happens if the reverse is the answer to all those questions, or the reverse to all those statements? I am gonna be around. I am gonna be somebody, and mama and daddy still gonna be here. Well, guess who you gotta deal with, right? You have to deal with me. Yeah, I'm still here. Yeah, somebody drop in the comments and say I'm still standing. They mistreated you, but now you're the very person they need. Let's just say if a person mishandled you, we're talking about the good woman, yep, or the good man. Well, when you mishandle that good woman or good man, it's because you're overseeing or overlooking their value. They're not valuing loyalty. They're not valuing true love. They're not valuing genuineness. They're not valuing a person who's willing to invest their time, energy, and effort into them or a person? Well, that leads to a person mishandling them. Well, what happens when you leave that good man or good woman and get with old Roger over here, or get with Tyrone rather, right? I believe Roger a good guy. We're going to say Tyrone or Keisha, and it was nothing like how they portrayed it to be. They're going to go back and look for the person they mishandled, that good woman or good man, right? If you take, for instance, the reserved person, most times what we do to them, misjudge them. They're just reserved, that's it. They don't know, or they don't want to place themselves in the position to where now people can start treating them any type of way, to where people can start handling them any type of way. So most times people who are reserved get misjudged because they come off as standoffish, they come off as not talkative, or they come off as somebody who's being problematic. Here's the funny thing, y'all. How can I be problematic when I don't even cause problems? I'm just to myself. People misjudge them. I say all that to say this, y'all. They mistreated you, they mishandled you, and they misjudged you. Does that make sense? Drop in the comments and let me know, y'all. Number 3 is going to be this right here, fam. They perpetuated an unnecessary lie. Yeah, they perpetuated an unnecessary lie, which means they kept the lie going for no reason. They kept lying when they didn't have any reason. They kept telling people, lies about yourself for no reason. They perpetuated an unnecessary lie. Anybody got that one family member or friend who just lie for no reason? Like literally they are, what you call it, y'all, a habitual liar, okay? You can see them steal something and they know that you seen them steal it, but they'll still tell you that they didn't steal it. That's a person who perpetuates an unnecessary lie. Like the sky can literally be blue and they'll tell you, no, somebody told me the sky was purple. Cause I'm looking at the sky right now. You gonna tell me it's purple? Yeah, cause it's purple. Even if you take your eyes and show them that you seen with your own eyes that it's blue, they'll still tell you it's purple. They are perpetuating an unnecessary lie. And so this is why this particular person is, or people are embarrassed because they know they messed up. You didn't have to perpetuate that lie. You didn't have to elevate that lie. You didn't have to make this lie bigger than what it should have been. All you had to do was just own up to it, but you were too prideful or egotistical to do it. And so with that being said, fam, it led to them realizing later on, okay, that they messed up and now they're embarrassed. Does that make sense? Drop in the comments and let me know, y'all. Number 4, it's going to be this right here, fam. You were genuine from the jump, okay? You were genuine from the jump. Now, the key word in this is genuine, all right? Genuine. When you are genuine from the jump.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I was looking for fun ways to tell you that Mint's offer of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month is back. He made these. $15 bill, but it turns out that's very illegal.
The Jimenez family are having battery issues, but an AutoZoner helps them find the right Duralast battery.
This is you, I'm not going to say diving head first, but it's you letting a person know that, hey, my guard is down. I'm not coming in stupid, but I'm also not coming in looking at you like you're stupid. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not coming in expecting for you to do something wrong to me. I looked at you in a way of trustworthy, having a sense of loyalty, or being an individual who's worthy, right? Well, you ever seen a movie where it was one person who was sincere and genuine, but the other person was playing a role to get whatever they wanted from that particular person? I can't think of a movie right now, y'all, but I know this happens in movies a lot. Y'all drop in the comments a movie where something like this happens or it has a similar plot. But anyway, in the movie, one person is 100% genuine, and sincere. The other person is, playing a role, right? Because maybe they need money from this person, they need a position from this person, they need some type of award, they need some type of prestige, like whatever it is, this person is a benefit to their lives, but they don't like them. Well, what happens when the genuine person finds out that you never did like me, you were never rocking with me, you never did care? They're gonna cut them off completely. And not only that, but they're gonna be extraordinarily pissed, all right? You faked it. I'm thinking about every dinner. I'm thinking about every time you call me. I'm thinking about every time you text me, every time I gave you some money, every time you did something for me. Why? Because I realized that it was not genuine. When I was genuine from the jump. And that's why you have to be mindful of who you be sincere with and who you be genuine with, all right? Everybody is not worthy of your real. Somebody drop in the comments and say, protect your real. Yes, sir. Make sure you drop in the comments, family, and say protect your real, all right? The last thing is going to be this right here, y'all, number 5. You've closed the door permanently, all right? You've closed the door permanently. So, family, if you think about that one good job that had benefits, an hour-long break, they paid you good, but you end up pissing it away. How did you piss it away? You ain't show up to work how you were supposed to. You wasn't clocking out how you were supposed to. You didn't take it. You didn't value the good job that you had, right? Now, here's the thing. I'm not telling nobody what their calling, what their purpose, and what God told them to do. I'm just speaking in a perfect world, y'all. Let's just say you had a good job, which we all have had a good job, and pissed it away because maybe we got it too early. Maybe we were young. We didn't understand how to value it, or we didn't understand the value of it, period. The point is, y'all, is that when that job is, done, or when it cuts you off, it's done permanently. You can't call back and say, hey, I would like to get my job back. Some jobs won't give you another chance, okay? They'll close the door. You can't do a resume. They don't care what job you worked at. They don't care about none of that, all right? We gave the benefits. We gave you the hour-long break. We paid you good, all right? We treated you good. We even had dinner for you on the weekends, and you still messed it up. Reno, what are you saying right now? When they close that door permanently, and you realize you messed up, not only are you embarrassed, but you're hurt because you know you lost the good one. You get what I'm saying? That's the same thing with yourself, y'all. You done closed that door permanently, and they can't come back through it, all right? But with that being said, fam, we'll do a recap, and then we'll conclude this video. But number 1, they chose someone else over you. Number 2, they mistreated, mishandled, and misjudged you. Number 3, they perpetuated an unnecessary lie. Number 4, you were genuine from the jump. And number 5, y'all, you've closed the door permanently, all right? Fam, y'all be sure to get you a Yes Sir t-shirt, Yes Sir hoodie, book a one-on-one session with your boy, and you can check out any one of my books. Keep a rich mentality. Peace.
I need to find my daughter.
Let's do what we do. I will hunt you down and stick a piece of dynamite right up your...
Now we gotta go help people customize and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. Maybe where's the golf cart?
There it is. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Don't stand in my way.
One of my viewers, Emily, wrote me an email a few days ago asking about home equity investments. And I only made one video about this before, but I want to make another video about it right now because she had some questions on home equity investments, which is kind of similar to a HELOC or a home equity line of credit, but it's also not the same and kind of resembles more of a reverse mortgage. So I want to give you guys the scoop on what all this actually is and if you should get one or not. But the first thing that you should know is there is a very large and famous home equity investment company that's going through a big lawsuit right now. The company called HomeTap is facing a bunch of class action lawsuits because they're allegedly misrepresenting its products by describing them as purchase options contracts instead of mortgage loans in order to skirt federal and state borrower protections. Now, skirting borrower protections is not really a good thing, guys. And as soon as you hear that, the first thing that should come to mind is predatory. I remember some people making comments last time I made a video about this saying that they were happy with their home equity investment, but you might not want to do it after you hear what it is. According to the lawsuits, they're calling it a predatory and abusive mortgage loan product in order to peddle to financially struggling homeowners. And that's what all of these things are designed to do. Home equity loans, home equity lines of credit, reverse mortgages, all of these things target struggling homeowners, guys. So you have to be honest with yourself, like, why are you looking at doing this, right? Why are you looking at getting a reverse mortgage or a home equity investment or something like that? Chances are it's probably because you need the money for something that's more pressing, okay? And if that's the case, you need to tread with caution. Here's why. Because in a separate lawsuit, the company HomeTap was sued in Massachusetts back in February this year for violating state consumer protection and mortgage laws and putting vulnerable homeowners at unreasonably high risk of losing their homes. Think about that, unreasonably high risk of losing your home. Is that really a position you want to put yourself in? Especially if you have a tremendous amount of equity built up, maybe you have a paid off house. Like, you're taking a big risk by getting yourself into any of these loan products. This is arguably one of the most sneaky ones because there's no payments, right? There's no payments involved. It's like a reverse mortgage, like they're paying you. That sounds great until you dig into all of the dirty details on how they can turn around and take your house, and often do. And today I'm walking on Estrada Lane and El Camino Drive here in Corte Madera, California. Now, according to HomeTap CEO, he says that over the past 2 years, about 10,000 homeowners from different states came to us looking for a flexible solution, and they're not alone. There are still millions of people who have equity in their homes but haven't found a way to access it, and that meets them where they're at. And we're focused on reaching them one market at a time. Well, that's typical CEO talk, you know, sounding like the hero. We're doing everything we can to help everybody who's in a struggling position. But at what cost, like I said. And here's how they get you, guys. The no monthly payment is the big allure to doing this, okay? Basically, they give you...
They say higher education is outdated, irrelevant. But at Grand Canyon University, we shatter the status quo. GCU's accredited MBA program is 100% online and is designed to shape leaders through servant leadership.
GCU can help take your passion and scale your business to serve your community.
This is purpose-driven education. Take action. Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University. Visit gcu.edu.
A big investment into your home. That's why it's called a home equity investment, which is a private contract that allows homeowners to secure a lump sum of cash in exchange for a percentage of their home's future value. So unlike other types of loans, like home equity lines of credit and home equity loans, these home equity investments do not require monthly payments, which make them very appealing to financially distressed individuals with a low credit score who are in urgent need of cash, otherwise known as predatory lending. And under an HEI contract, known as the Option Purchase Agreement, the homeowner agrees to let HomeTap purchase a chunk of their home equity in exchange for an immediate payout. And they all do the same thing. This is just one example of one company. And as part of the agreement, the company stipulates how long its stake in the property will last, usually anywhere between 10 to 30 years, and how much the homeowner will be required to pay back at the end of the agreement. And in most cases, homeowners have to settle the original lump sum plus a share of the home's appreciation over the term of the contract, which requires you to sell your property in most cases in order to fund the repayment. So if the home appreciates at a high rate, the payback amount can be double or triple the lump sum you originally got, although the contract typically does cap the annualized rate of return. But think about it like this: the more your house appreciates, the more of that equity that these companies are going to capture. But here's the problem, according to a real estate attorney. What a lot of homeowners tend to overlook is the settlement obligation at the end of the 10-year term. If the home has appreciated, the homeowner owes the home equity investment company its share of that appreciation plus the amount it invested. Most homeowners cannot write that check, so they must refinance or sell. So right away you might say, well, I'm 80 years old, Michael, so probably by the time that I'm going to have to pay this back, then I might no longer be on this earth. And that might be a bet that you're willing to take, and that's the same sort of logic that people who get reverse mortgages use as well. But you also have to remember, guys, unforeseen circumstances. Nobody should know this better than you, than somebody who is a senior citizen who's been around the block a few times in life. Things happen in life that cannot easily be accounted for or predicted. And if you catch yourself in a situation where you outlive this loan, or you need to sell your house early for some reason, well, that repayment is still going to be due. Say you get one of these home equity investments and 5 years later need to move into a nursing home. You got to sell the house. Well, now they're going to take a big chunk of your equity plus the original amount of money that they gave you, which is leaving you a lot less cash when you sell your house. They talked to one woman who actually got one of these home equity investments right here in California, and she got that loan in 2020, and her house was appraised for $305,000. And the firm bought a 13% stake in her equity, giving her a lump sum of $44,000 to pay her bills while she was unemployed. But the lawsuit claims she received only a little over $40,000 due to various fees and deductions. So right out of the gate, they kind of screwed this person over, which is not really a good look. And according to the lawsuit, the contract was complex and confusing and was underwritten without the regard for her income, assets, creditworthiness, or future ability to repay the lump sum. Because they don't care, they're using the house as collateral. That's the only thing they're interested in. Even if you're dead broke and your credit score is horrible, they don't care if you can repay the loan because your house can. That's the whole thing, guys. That's what you need to understand about all of these different types of loans against your house. And then, of course, if you cannot pay your obligation, then you could lose the house. And these companies specifically target people who cannot qualify or afford a traditional mortgage or traditional refinance. A lot of homeowners are at risk of being forced out of their homes by a home equity investment loan when their 10-year contracts mature. Sounds like these 10-year contracts are a lot more common than a longer-term one, probably because they want to get in and get you that loan and get their return on investment back sooner than later. Nobody wants to wait 30 years. Another lawsuit out of New Jersey claims that HomeTap gave this couple a $98,000 lump sum for their house on a 13% stake of the equity, which was appraised at $802,000. And just like the previous person, they said their 10-year option contract was underwritten by HomeTap without regard for their income, assets, or future ability to settle. And so if HomeTap were to exercise their option contract right now, so that's the other key to this of why this is a big deal. It's a 10-year contract, but they can call in the loan. You can sort of think of it like that, which means that they can essentially make it due early depending on how much your home's value is going down or what's happening in the market, and that can really catch people off guard, right? And so if this couple in New Jersey would get their loan called in right now, they would be on the hook for $177,000, guys. They got only $80,000 initially. And that's way beyond what they can afford, but their house can afford it. So if you notice, the two main issues here with this are, number one, that these companies can demand and or call in that loan at any time they wish according to the contract. That's a huge red flag, number one. The second red flag is you can be on the hook paying double, triple of what you initially got just to get some temporary cash. I mean, think about what kind of an interest rate that is. You know, if you have to pay back triple, how much of an interest rate is that? 300% interest? It's not worth it. But people all the time are asking about these type of loan products. And I'm not saying that no one's ever had a good experience and that it can't work. That's not what I'm saying. But I am saying that you need to be careful on who you do business with. Check the reviews. Make sure the reviews are actually real people, not paid bots on the internet. Maybe even get a recommendation from somebody else you know who might have done one of these and has had that product for a while and hasn't had any complaints.
Watch the FIFA World Cup 2026 live on Fox 1, June 11th through July 19th. Available with YouTube. Terms apply. Cancel anytime.
We pretty much take it all. Fridges and dishwashers, dressers, drawers, couches, mattresses, bed frames, concrete, things like that. Same day notice or 3 weeks in advance.
That's what you get when you hire professionals. It's good to know you're making a difference. We found some paper and cardboard out of the job, and we sort through it. Instead of just throwing this stuff in the dirt, you're actually making sure it goes where it needs to go. That's a good thing.
You don't have to do any of the moving. It doesn't matter whether it's in your garage, your backyard, front yard.
All you have to do is point.
Book online today. 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Because a company like HomeTap, their agreement stipulates that if any of their clients cannot make the required payment, then the company can foreclose on their property or force a sale to collect the amount owed. Who wants to find themselves in this position, guys? Same thing with reverse mortgages. They have all sorts of maintenance requirements and upkeep requirements, even living requirements requiring you to live in the property and you can't move out and all this and that, all this little fine print. And if you can't comply with something that is in this contract that you might not even be aware of, guess what? You're losing your house, you're losing a chunk of your equity, all because you wanted to borrow against the house. And I'm not sitting here telling you that no one can do this and it's always going to be a bad idea. But I think that just like the reverse mortgage stance, I stand pretty firm on the side that if you actually need to do this out of necessity, then you probably shouldn't, which is unfortunate because that's most of the people who are looking at using one of these products. And the class action lawsuits that are going on right now are all about whether or not this is actually supposed to be considered a loan. Because according to the Truth in Lending Act, it requires that consumers are offered and receive residential mortgage loans on terms that reasonably reflect their ability to repay the loans and that are understandable and not unfair, deceptive, or abusive, which is basically the opposite of what we just talked about here. And these lawsuits, as long as they just, give out little settlements here and there to the people who win these lawsuits, it's like a nothing burger for these companies, guys. It's just the cost of doing business, essentially. How much home equity can we steal from different homeowners, and how many lawsuits can that fund and still make us a profit is the spreadsheet calculation that companies like this have to do. Of course, HomeTap denies these allegations of it being predatory, and they say that they're fully transparent on what their product is and what it does. And some of that could actually be true because a lot of people out of desperation overlook what the contract actually says in desperation just to get their hands on the money, and the consequences become an afterthought. So what are the pros and cons of this type of thing, guys? Well, obviously the biggest pro is no monthly payments. That's what pretty much ropes everyone in. You only have to pay when you sell or refinance or at the end of the agreement, which can be cut short without your permission, right? Another big draw in is that you can qualify with little to no income and bad credit, which is something you can't qualify for when you do a traditional refinance or a HELOC, for example. Also, if you have a low mortgage rate, you can preserve that low mortgage rate because you're not taking on a second loan, at least not one that requires regular payments. Also, you can use the money for whatever you want, which is pretty much the case with all of these different types of loans against your property. And here's the funny one. There's no interest charges, right? But how much interest are you paying if you end up paying triple back what they gave you? I would say quite a lot. The cons are pretty obvious. You give up a lot of your future appreciation. you don't have a lot of control over when that loan can be called in. Even though you might have a 10 or 20-year agreement in the contract, these companies can call it in early, and which can put you in a pretty bad spot financially. And this can be way more expensive than a traditional loan like a HELOC. Like, as much as I don't like HELOCs, guys, I think that's a safer bet, because here's the thing. When people do HELOCs, first of all, you don't have to borrow it right away. You have time to think about it and all of that. And even once you start borrowing it, you're not making the full repayment amount right away. But also, people tend to borrow less. You know, these are some pretty big numbers we went over here, like $44,000, $80,000 being borrowed against their house. Typically, when people do HELOCs, it's less than that. You know, maybe like $20,000, $30,000. It's still money. You can still lose your home to foreclosure to one of these loans, but you might have a lower risk if you do a HELOC versus one of these home equity investments. And since you have to qualify for a loan like that, that means you are going to have income to actually repay one of these loans and not just be on the hook through the value of your property, which is pretty risky. And another big con against doing this is that these companies specifically target people probably like yourself who are looking for this extra money for one reason or another. You know, there's all these complex algorithms and AI and things that companies use now to specifically zero in and target people who could be vulnerable. And that's exactly what they do, guys. You think it's an accident? You got one of their mailers talking about doing a home equity investment and how it's so much better than these other type of loans? Think about it. Well, let's jump into some other real estate news about home prices right now and the new property tax amendment that's going to be on the ballot box in Florida in November. Let's start with home prices. Right now, we are seeing a record decline in home asking prices, which is showing us that the market is turning over, guys. It is happening. Whether you like to look at it and realize it or not, it is happening. The national median asking price fell 2.5% in June compared with 1 year ago, and is now at $430,000 according to Realtor.com, which I understand is still a lot of money. But 2.5% drops are reasonable drops, especially when inflation is hovering at over 4%, which means effectively, when adjusted for inflation, you're getting a 6.5% to 7% price cut. That's a good thing. And June actually marked the 8th consecutive month of asking price decreases, and the 2.5% that we saw in June was the steepest price decline in history, going back to 2017 when they started keeping track of the data. So what does this mean?
As a veteran, I spent many years navigating PTSD and loss of identity. Using these lasers is what actually got me grounded again. My name is Will Cope. I live in Quitman, Georgia. I used to be a combat medic, and I was in Iraq for 17 months. I was in law enforcement for 20 out of 25 years. I worked criminal investigations, narcotics. I was on SWAT teams in high-risk environments. When I retired in 2021, all of a sudden, all of that was over with. You go from being in those real high adrenaline situations, high-risk situations, to then all of a sudden everything stops. And then a friend of mine talked to me. He introduced me to the X tool. That little green F1OG was my little pick-me-up. It's what helped me. Brought me back into the world. I've been through so much trauma that whenever you don't have anything to do, your mind just goes idle. So you get to thinking about things. Well, whenever I get to messing with my lasers, you don't have time to.
It means sellers are finally starting to get realistic with what's going on.
My God, if you guys notice, I'm shining a bit, man. It is hot as balls out here. And the middle of summer here in Wisconsin. People think it's always cold out here. I'm telling you guys, we have some pretty amazing summers, but it's a hot and sweaty one today. All right. Before we get into the rest of this video, reminding you we are giving away a Nintendo Switch 2 right now. You guys will see a link down in the pin comment or in the description. You just have to be subscribed in order to enter. That's the only real requirement besides being over the age of 18. That being said, folks, we have to get into some news today. We have some updates for Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave. Actually, kind of a surprising update today shared by Nintendo. We have some UK sales data we want to get into, so we have some info on Star Fox and Rhythm Heaven launched last week, so we got to talk about that. We have some big news from Nintendo themselves. This is possibly even the headline topic of the show, because Nintendo is obviously going to be conforming to the European law with replaceable batteries, but something else came up in their announcement of their new Switch 2 product with replaceable batteries today that has the internet ablaze and talking, because it basically signals the end of a generation. So we got to talk about that. We're going to go a little bit over Famitsu stuff. So they have the most wanted games list. And I find it interesting to look at this because it gives you a good idea of what gamers in Japan are wanting. Nintendo also won an award from Famitsu, and it is a fan-given award. And Nintendo decided that, hey, we're going to talk back to the fans in a good way and gave us a positive message. So we're going to check that out as well, and then we're going to be ending up with some Square Enix news. All right, guys. First, let's dive into Fire Emblem. This comes from the official Fire Emblem X account. So we're over here, and it says battle types. The types of weapons that appear in Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave are the 5. You get the sword, the spear, the axe, the bow, the gauntlet. Depending on the soldier class the unit character is assigned to, the weapons they can wield also differ. So they are bringing back weapons being exclusive to class types. I really like that, and it really helps with the rock, paper, scissors mechanics of the game. Anyways, it says, for example, huntsman units can equip a sword and bow. The soldier unit can equip a sword, spear, and axe. And then they go on to say troops such as the Curse Matter, proficient in demonic arts, can attack using magic without weapons. Unlike weapons, there's a limit to the number of uses, but they can still deal massive damage to enemies with thick armor. And to give a screenshot, this is showing some characters we literally haven't seen yet, because we haven't seen a ton of Fortune's Weave yet, although that is obviously changing. This is, to me, signaling the beginning of the marketing campaign for Fire Emblem going to launch. And then obviously another screenshot here of some magic users, obviously using light and dark magic. So yeah, guys, I actually think this is really cool. I like getting random updates like this. You never know, when we're going to get an update like this, say for Ocarina of Time from the official Zelda account. You never know. Nintendo likes to do a lot of this stuff. Maybe Nintendo today.
We have got to the point where literally anybody can build a fully working app without knowing how to code. This is Base 44. This is a first look at the current industry-leading AI app builder, and you wouldn't believe the kind of apps that people are creating. Smart nutrition apps, inventory trackers, onboarding tools, you name it. And if the only thing stopping me from making the app is the idea, why not build an app that gives me endless app ideas? So let's make it. Pro tip, I draft the full app spec in ChatGPT, and then I drop the prompt directly into Base 44. It gives me super detailed structure. And here it is. Everything I laid out in detail as it goes. This is pretty awesome, but I want to make it playful. So I'm going to add a swipe left and swipe right interface. The same usability we all know. Now I'm going to add one more feature. So every idea that I favorite will turn into a kickoff prompt to start building the app itself. And that's it. Just come up with your idea, any idea, and Base 44 will do the rest. So go to Base 44 and create apps with your name on it.
Let's go over some sales data now. I love going over sales data. So the UK software sales chart for the week ending July 4th is in. And as we go down here, we see the EA Sports FC 26. So this is formerly FIFA. At number 1, not really a surprise. That game always does well over there, and we're in the middle of the World Cup. 007 First Light up there at number 2. And then we see Tamagotchi Life Living the Dream at number 3. Star Fox at number 4. So only a few spots slipped from last month. I think that's actually a pretty good hold for Star Fox. Rhythm Heaven Paradise Groove debuting at number 5. I don't know if this is a good debut, but that's really where we wanted to get to, and that's really what we were talking about here and going over all the sales. You can check out the entire top 40 if you want to. We'll link it down below. So again, I don't know if it's good sales for Rhythm Heaven because they don't give us numbers, but it debuted in the top 5, so I can't think that's like too big of a negative. What became a little bit of a negative today is something Nintendo announced that should have been mostly positive. So this Nintendo announcement here says information about upcoming battery-related revisions. So starting summer of 2026, in preparation for the upcoming changes in the European battery regulations, coming into effect in mid-February 2027, select Nintendo products in Europe will begin to be replaced on a rolling basis by revisions that contain a user-replaceable battery. There's no difference in functionality between the current products and the revised ones. And you can see what they're revising. So the Joy-Con, so we're talking about obviously all the Switch 1 Joy-Con, they're going to get new sets coming out with easily replaceable batteries. The Switch 2 console, obviously, will get an update, user replaceable battery, as it says, will also contain user replaceable batteries. Then you're seeing, obviously, this winter, they got the new Joy-Con ones coming out with user replaceable batteries, and obviously the Pro controller as well, with the N64 controller and the GameCube controller in early 2027. What you're not seeing here is the Switch 1 console, just the Joy-Con. So what's up with that? Well, we have an answer for this. So, what does this mean for Nintendo Switch consoles in Europe? Nintendo Switch Lite, and Nintendo Switch OLED model will all continue to be manufactured in 2026 and should be widely available in Europe all year. From mid-February 2027, almost 10 years after Switch launched in March 2017, Nintendo will no longer sell to retailers hardware in the Nintendo Switch family of systems. Specifically, the Switch Lite, and the Switch OLED. Sales of Nintendo Switch hardware on Nintendo Store will also end in mid-February 2027. Regarding availability at retail, please check with your local retailers in the future for more information. A lot of that's going to be because they could have imported units, or obviously just a lot of stock built up that they can just keep their store shelf stocked for a while. Nintendo Switch has an extensive library of games that continue to grow, and Nintendo Switch owners can continue to enjoy all their existing Nintendo games and accessories. So, yeah, guys, it's a positive update on the battery front and the Pro consumer, but also kind of a negative note because the Switch is going away in Europe. Now, just Europe, still going to be sold in Japan and the US and all that. So, still some hope out there for it to possibly pass the PlayStation 2 one day. But kind of signaling the end. And I'm sure this decision wasn't easy. They could have obviously remanufactured the console with a replaceable battery. But I'm assuming that they have the numbers on the sales in Europe, and maybe Switch 1 sales are basically done and just not worth the revision. Really, there's retooling and testing that needs to be done, and honestly, I get it. Right? It's an older system. It's time to move on. It's time to move on to our next story. How about Famitsu's Most Wanted games? So this is the magazine out of Japan that always pulls their readers, and this one's really interesting because Pokemon Wind and Waves is at number 1. I don't think anyone's super shocked. Pokemon is massive in Japan. So is Splatoon, which is why I'm surprised you're seeing Splatoon Raiders at number 2. And you notice that Wind and Waves and Splatoon Raiders are quite a bit ahead of the game at number 3. You can tell they're really, really hyped in Japan for Wind and Waves, which is next year, but Splatoon Raiders, which does come out later this month. All right, Persona 4 Revival at number 4. That's good news, obviously, for PlayStation 5. And then you see Fortune's Weave coming in for Nintendo Switch at number 4. I think that's going to go up next month after Splatoon Raiders is out, just naturally, but we'll see. Grand Theft Auto 6 coming in a bit there for PS5 at number 5. Onimusha at number 6, Final Fantasy VII Revelation at 7. Although I'm very curious, by the time that game comes out, I do wonder if it'll sell better on Switch 2 than PS5. I'm gonna kind of pay attention to that just to kind of see if the tide is swinging for Final Fantasy in Japan to be more Nintendo. I'm very curious on that front. Ocarina of Time down there at number 12. Of course, we barely saw anything of that game. I don't expect Ocarina of Time to be in the top 10 or top 5 until we're much closer to when the game's actually going to come out. So, not really worried that they don't seem too hyped about it at the moment. We didn't see a lot of it anyways. But yeah, guys, that's kind of the list. It's pretty interesting to think about what Japan is really interested in. We don't, we got a lot of these polls in the U.S., but they're spread out so much that it's hard to know the reliability. Famitsu is just a consistent one with those polls. Now, I did mention that Nintendo won an award with Famitsu and left a message in. The message is here on Nintendo Everything, and it's pretty interesting. So if you missed the news, Famitsu recently experienced its 40th anniversary. The Japanese magazine celebrated the occasion by asking its readers to participate in a new survey. about all sorts of questions, including the most influential game, their favorite character, and more. The results were published. We learned that Nintendo was chosen as the top developer. The company ended up sharing a message with the fans to thank them. So here is a message from Nintendo. Thank you for choosing Nintendo as the #1 game developer in Ireland. We are also extremely happy that Mario and The Legend of Zelda have been received favorably. Ever since the Famicom was released in 1983, we have created chances for many to give video games a try. We are grateful to Famitsu for keeping customers excited and supporting us across those 40 years. During those 40 years, technology related to game development has evolved, and the environment has changed as well. But we have continued to keep originality as our central theme, going through trial and error and learning many things while creating entertainment with the goal of putting smiles on customers' faces. If this 40-year-long path has become a part of everyone's memories, there is nothing that would make us happier. Nintendo will continue to challenge various things, aiming for unique entertainment that only we can produce, and work hard towards that goal. We shall continue to be in your care from now on. Finally, in celebration of 40 years of Famitsu, we hope to continue developing a mutually beneficial partnership and keeping the game industry lively. And there's some comments from Nintendo talking about they do care about the state of the game industry and keeping it alive. So that was a very interesting statement towards the end. I think that is something that is interesting to see Nintendo comment on, like the state of the entire industry in there. But yeah, great message from Nintendo thanking their fans that obviously got them that award. Last up,
so you can turn your girlfriend's hangry puppy into your biggest fan.
What's fair?
Food. That's how I make friends too.
You are best-selling author that the parents have actually heard of.
I doubt that any of my books are on the shelves of this hallowed institution.
They aren't.
I write because sometimes I wish I was someone else. This is college. You get to reinvent yourself.
That's kind of hot around here. Hi, Kyle. You're a big boy.
just super quick here. We're going to go through a couple Square Enix stories. This first one's about Dragon Quest XI's. They put some data on the Japanese website about how it performs on Switch 2. So it says, what is the difference between the Switch version and the Nintendo Switch 2 version? It says game content remains the same, but there are differences in drawing specifications based on hardware processing power. So the Switch 2 version, you have a performance priority mode, which is 1080p 60 FPS. There is your 60 FPS. Or you can have an image quality priority mode, so higher resolution, 1440p, but 30 FPS. And yeah, you can't upgrade from previous versions or anything like that. So there you guys go. I think that is pretty interesting, pretty neat. And as I said, I had one more Square Enix story. I kind of lumped them together. And this one deals with sales, actually. So, look, this summer has been really great for sales. Nintendo just had, and it's still technically going on, I think, till the 12th, a really big sale they have going on. Well, Square Enix is now getting involved. And they dropped maybe the biggest sale they've ever done on Nintendo. Come down here to the prices, and this is pretty crazy. So, Bravely Default HD Remaster is down to $27.99. Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD Remakes down to $38.99. Dragon Quest 7 Reimagined. The game's not even that old. $41.99. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth already down to $30. Remake Integrate down to $14. Look at that sale. Final Fantasy Tactics, The Ivalice Chronicles, $30. Octopath Traveler 0 down to $32.49. Romancing Saga down to $24.99. That's just on Switch 2. And look at all the ones on Switch. Look at this. Holy shit. There's a lot. As I said, this is like the biggest sale Square Enix has ever done for Switch and Switch 2. So you guys really should check this out. We'll put a link to the list down below. Obviously, you can go to your eShop and figure stuff out from there as well. Man, what a crazy time, man. Square Enix is doing some cool stuff. So, all right, guys, we're going to leave it at that. I am hot as balls and sweating the storm. Look at that. Look how wet my hair is, man. Holy crap. I got to get this thing edited and out the door. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I will catch you guys in the next video.
Now you can play Unlocked with Google Play Games on PC. Unlock rewards with Google Play.
If you're in a track, let that sink in. People don't really like you when they realize you like yourself more than they think you should. You know what I'm saying? They're looking at you, you feeling yourself, and they can tell. See, they look at you in disgust. They're like, what is you doing? Yeah, he's smelling himself. We don't like that. They think you overly confident. They feel like you overly confident. They feel like now you rubbing it in. They feel like you rubbing it in their faces. They don't like it when you feel yourself, when you know your worth. You know your worth. They don't like that. Now, let the games begin. It's the humbling process. Now they want to humble you. They will reject you just to dumb that shit, just to bring your ass down a couple of notches. Because you see, you smelling yourself. Hell no, don't come over here. See, they feel like you only that confident because you've been winning too much. So now they gotta show you and prove to you that you're not a winner like you think you are. Yeah, you've been having your way lately, but you're not having your way with me. Hell no. Yeah, your life's been easy. You've been having it on easy mode. They think your life is on easy mode, so they want to make it harder. Yeah, you having it easy, but we gonna make it harder, motherfucker. I'm gonna make it hard. My life ain't that damn easy, so what the fuck yours ain't gonna be neither. I'm having it hard, you're gonna have it hard too, buddy. We don't like you. They see how good you feeling about yourself. You wake up, stretching this shit with your French toast, your grapes over there. Cause hell, your almonds right here. You probably got watermelon, mango all over there. They don't like that shit. They don't appreciate that, man. That's like a slap in their face. They see that shit as a slap in their face. I'm saying it's okay to have a little bit of confidence, but you starting to fall in love with yourself. They don't like that shit. That shit pisses people off. They don't even know you. Oh, well, so what? They don't have to know you. Whether they're strange or not, people look at you and they see you too comfortable, just a little too comfortable in your skin, more than they is. Oh yeah, this motherfucker, now you think you all that. So see, now you think you all that in a bag of chips. Now they gotta check you for that. Yeah, that shit needs to be checked. Fuck that shit. I'm finna check that shit. They think you need to be checked. I'm checking that shit. Fuck that. That shit needs to be checked. It's your boy Jenny, aka JG, man. Put it in the comments what y'all think about this video, man. Thank y'all for all the love and support, man. Like this video. Go on, hit the like button on this video so we can get this video ticking in the algorithm. I know it's the holidays. You know what I'm saying? Y'all with your family dragging your feet. But we're going to go ahead and get this started. You know what I'm saying? The holidays over with. It's about, what, July 5th? July 6th? July 4th is over with. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? If you're new to the channel, thank y'all. Like and subscribe, hit the notification bell so you'll be notified every time I drop a video. Now with that being said, let's continue to start the video. They don't like how confident you been. You know what I'm saying? They looking at it like you arrogant. They think you cocky. So now you have to be checked. Now they gotta reject you. These people, they so nosy, they feel like you've been having your way. They feel like you used to having your way. So they're gonna make sure that you don't have your way. You wonder like, why are people making my life so fucking hard? Like this shit is not that hard. Why is they fucking with me? They making this shit hard. And it's not even supposed to be that fucking hard. Because they feel like you got it too easy, man. You ain't even gotta think you attractive. You don't even have to be attractive. You don't even have to feel attractive. If they even think that you attractive. See, a lot of y'all humble. You know what I'm saying? They don't know the version of y'all that exists. They just looking at you and they treat you based off the version they think you are. They treat you off the version they see you as. They see you as a winner, but they also see that shit as competition. They don't like that shit, man. Yeah, that shit a threat. That has to be checked. They think they gotta check you, man. Yeah, you need to be stopped, motherfucker. I'm putting your ass in your place. You're not doing that. All that self-improvement shit? Nah. See, now they think you rubbing it in their face. You have been feeling yourself too good. I tell you, you gotta be careful when you feeling yourself around. You gotta be careful who you vibrating around. Who you being all vibrant, all that vibrant energy. You smiling too much. You're too happy. You keep it to yourself, treating yourself. You know how to be alone. You don't mind being alone. There's a lot of people that can't be alone. They can't be by themselves. They need somebody with them to validate them. Yeah, they think you smelling yourself. You just started smelling yourself now. Now they gotta destroy you. Now they gotta reject you. Because they hoping that rejection bring you back down. They don't want you vibrating high, man. All this what it's all about. Raising your vibration. They don't want you to raise your vibration. They don't want you to raise your vibration, man. Ain't that what we eating healthy for? Huh? The whole point of eating is to raise your vibration. It was never meant to eat to feel fulfilled or hungry. I heard if you're hungry, that's really your body starving from nutrition. Nutrients. A fucking handful of leaves can give you all the nutrients you need. And just that little bit of handful of nutrients can make you feel like you ate 2 burgers. You starving because your body is straining for nutrients, not because you need some weight on you. Man. They told us that wrong. You're supposed to eat, have shit in your body for nutrients. You're supposed to eat to stay alive, not we eating for pleasure. You're supposed to eat to raise your frequency. You're supposed to eat fresh fruits, fresh food, fresh vegetables, fresh herbs, fresh nuts, clean, fresh water to raise your vibration. That's what this was all about. To raise your frequency and ascend up out of this shit. Not because it tastes good. That's bitter. Okay. So what? Hold your nose. Everybody trying to stop you from raising your vibration. That's sad, man. I just sit back and watch. I just sit back and watch, man. It's here. That's what all this shit is about, man. Yeah, that's what it's about. When you raising your vibration, you're gonna naturally start feeling yourself. You're gonna be feeling it. See, they need cups of liquor and shit. They need cups of liquor and shit. They need cigarettes, black them out. They need drugs, all type of shit, so they can feel themselves. You feeling like that? How do you feel naturally? You think they like that shit? No. Who the fuck is this? Here, the whole beat that I mean. I don't own no copyright to this music. Hold on. This music playing and shit.
Can you go from IT support to $79,000 in an AI role in 4 months without learning to
you completely? Although the pain is real. Anybody who has been through this level of betrayal, whether it's coming from friends, family, siblings, intimate relationships, whatever. I want to say congratulations, because you're part of an elite group of people. And it's a very small group. It's a remnant of brothers and sisters who actually been through the storm, carried their cross, and survived it without completely going off the deep end. You got to pat yourself on the back for that, because it's very difficult to go through that. The scriptures talk about my own friend that lifted thy heel against thee, whom I broke bread with. It'll be the people that you look out for, the people you break bread with, the people you show support and love for. Those will be the ones who will undermine all your efforts. Those will be the ones who will be out to destroy you. Those will be the ones using your empathy as ammunition. And the more you do for them, the more they hate you and resent you. And it's a sad situation, but we got to count it all joy. You know why? Because we were persecuted for Christ's name's sake.
Yes, sir.
And I know it hurts. See, it's about that time where we stop trusting everybody. Everybody's not deserving of your energy. Everybody's not deserving of your presence. And everybody can't go where you're going. It's about that time where you stop casting your pearls before swine. It's about that time where your discernment is top notch and you stop allowing people in your life that's not showing any reciprocity. There's so many people that just want to take your energy, brothers and sisters. And when they feel like you're no value to them, they will disregard you. And for a lot of you, it's a painful revelation. But it will try you like gold through the furnace, and you will be rock solid on the other side. See, a lot of these people were set up for you to overcome. Even if it's your own family. Some of you were born into families that you were designed to overcome in order for you to break the generational curses. See, the truth is, if you allow the resentment, the anger, all of the emotions that come with being betrayed, if you allow that to weigh down on you to the point where you become as them, and you become cold and you wallow in what has taken place, and you start maneuvering just like the people who were venomous. You start maneuvering just like the snakes. Then guess what? You're going to pass down that same generational curse. So you got to forgive. And I know this is tough. See, this message right here is very timely because we're talking about healing right now, brothers and sisters. Now, I'm not telling you to place yourself around individuals who have opened these wounds in your life and they want to get back in without even addressing what they've done. They just want to pick at the scab. No. I'm not telling you to let people in and out of your life like a revolving door where they could just tread on you whenever they want. But what I am telling you is you must forgive these people for your sake. Forgive them. Because only during the healing process will you truly find yourself. Once you start to heal, you'll start to transform. You will view the world completely differently. You will understand your value more. You will begin to understand who's more deserving of your time, efforts, and energy. You will have less desperation. You will no longer be operating as if people are a complete necessity all the time, because that's how most people are operating. Energy vampires, looking for their next supply. Now, when you are faced to go it alone, walking in the wilderness, and start actually enjoying your own company, learning yourself, building your relationship with the Creator, it is going to change you. And people are going to see the light on you. A lot of you brothers and sisters who have went through this, you will become magnets to people, because a lot of people don't know how to quite process what they've been through. But y'all in the healing process. And that's a light in itself, because you could find hope. Although the people that you trusted hurt you the deepest. It's a pain that's very difficult to carry, because a lot of you all have such pure intentions. You don't go into any situation looking to harm or hurt anyone. Your intentions are pure. You all love the right way. And a lot of the times, people like you all who have compassion and empathy, you're the ones who are constantly trying to prove that your love is real, that the way you treat people is real, that your compassion is real. And the reason why you have that issue where you constantly feel the need to try to explain that is because the world can't wrap their minds around it, because they are not that way. They're just not that way. So you appear to be an anomaly. Real people are very rare. So people who are genuine, people who are about what they say they're about, people who are transparent and honest, people who are direct, a lot of the times they get scrutinized the most. Why? Because they have to deal with projections a lot of the times. They have to deal with people's hidden motives a lot of the times. Why? Because you're not like them and they're not like you. But they want to be around your energy. Understand that light and dark have no fellowship together. And don't confuse attachment with genuine intention. Don't get caught up in that. Sometimes detachment is healthy, because you won't have anybody in your head muddying the waters. You won't have anybody that's sullying your purpose, and you will actually be able to lock in, focus on your faith, focus on building yourself up, and actually finding yourself. I know it hurts. I know. I get a lot of messages of people saying, look, I don't think I can ever trust again. And I'm going to tell you, the truth is there's not too many people you can trust. However, let people prove themselves through their actions. Let people prove themselves. Words mean nothing. People can align and position themselves next to God's people using words, using flattery, using manipulation tactics and deception. Pay attention to people's actions. When the chips are down and there's adversity that you're facing, look at how people move. When you're down and out, look how people move. When you need people, look how people move. And that will tell you who you can trust. See, there's some people who are real. And you know how you know they're real? When they got their own stuff in life going on and they still take the time to be there to support you. That's how you know people are real and authentic. But nonetheless, brothers and sisters, if this message helps you out your walk and your journey, let me know down in the comment section. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. One love to everybody. Support the
I don't want to say that this is my favorite beverage, but I am obsessed with this.
Also, can
used to control every single thing that you think. It is being used to control how you breathe, what you want to buy, the things that you buy, right? It is being used to control what you do, and it has been so powerful, right? It has been so efficient that many people don't even know what's going on. Many people don't even know that the very thoughts that they're having are not even theirs, right? And this is exactly why, I was algorithmically pushed out of the United States. And I know this sounds crazy, right? This may sound like some conspiracy theory to some of y'all. This may sound absolutely ludicrous, but I'm telling you the whole truth. So help me God. I was algorithmically, right, pushed out of the U.S. Why? Because everyone around me knew that I wasn't like them, right? Everyone around me who has been controlled by the algorithms, who are the NPCs of the world, who are nothing more than compliant, docile, empty vessels. They knew exactly that I didn't fit in the compliance environment, right? And this is why everything is going to fit. This is why so many things are just deteriorating. So many people are allowing what is happening in the country just to happen, right? Because they're docile, right? Because they let the algorithm rule over them, right? See, I had to get out of that place, right? Because like I said on one of my other videos, right, there's only so much of a defense that you can put up, right? Eventually, you're going to have to play offense. You're going to have to play offense. There's only so much a defense can protect the game, right? Before they start to wear down, before their defenses, start to deteriorate. And that is exactly what was happening with me, right? My defenses started to deteriorate. My defense system started to deteriorate. And lo and behold, I felt myself becoming more and more like the opposing team. Right? Not because I wanted to, not because I just dreamed to be like them. No, it was because, eventually when you stay in a certain environment for so long, you eventually become exactly what you're trying to prevent, right? You think about something for so long, right? You eventually start to become exactly what you're thinking that you won't become, right? And this is why many people warn of, stop thinking about what you don't want to become and start thinking about what you do want to become. But eventually, there's only so much you can, so much fight that you can put up before, just like Neo in the Matrix, right? Just like people that they went after in the Matrix, it happens right before you become one of those agents. So the reason why so many of the safety nets are failing, so many people really don't see what's going on, is because they're algorithmically being controlled by social media. They're algorithmically being controlled by the media. And listen, the powers that be, they don't have to do much at this point, right? It used to be a time period where, they'll send the army, they'll send the Navy, they'll go knocking door to door, pulling people out, right? Compliance by force, right? We no longer have compliance by force anymore. Compliance by force is really out the door. It's old news, right? It's really a smoke screen, right? Some of the same smoke screens we've seen with Venezuela, right? Some of the same smoke screens we've seen with Cuba. Some of the same smoke screens we've seen with
Iraq, Iran, right? Some of those same smoke screens, right, that they've been using time and time again, but now they don't have to use those same forceful mechanisms anymore, right? They probably have a meeting about, 1 or 2 times a year and talk about exactly what kind of thought processes do they want to push in the world to benefit them. There's no coincidence. A lot of the things, that are going on, are happening the way that they are, from, the earthquakes to the change in politics through Latin America, where they're just throwing in, puppeteers at this point. They're just throwing in whoever is willing to do the bidding of the West. There's no coincidence that a lot of these things are happening the way that they are, right? They have, like I said, they have a meeting about once or twice a year, and they talk about where they want to push the world, right? And many of you probably going to be like, man, no, that's crazy, that's far-fetched. Is it though?
Chipotle honey chicken is back. Grilled chicken, chipotle peppers, and pure honey. It takes heat and sweet to a whole new level.
Hey also, I just downloaded the Experian app because I wanted to check my FICO score, but it does so much more. This thing shows you your FICO score, you can get your credit card recommendations, and it shows you ways to save money.
See all you can do with the free Experian app. Download it now.
Is it? We thought that those files, that the Epstein files were far-fetched, right? How many times have people talked about, right, an elite monster class who are doing diabolical things for children? They've been talking about that. Listen, I was hearing about that years and years ago in middle school and high school. We all thought that was just like, nah, that can't be happening. Nah, that's not really going on. But until it broke out that, in fact, that it is happening, in fact, that it is going on. So is it really far-fetched to think that there's an elite monster class of people who just want to have global domination? I don't think that that's far-fetched at all. Because when you think about just how far or just how evil human nature can get, right? It's not far-fetched, because even when I dig into myself, I know I can see, right, in my soul how far I can actually take evil, right? Listen, I'm not perfect by a long shot, right? I'm here, listen, I tell the truth, the whole truth, so help me God, and I'm a realist, right? Even I understand just how far even I can take evil. So just imagine with people who have nothing but control. Just imagine people who have, nothing but money, nothing but time on their hands. They ain't got nothing else to do, right? They done bought all the Lambos, they bought all of the Ferraris, they done fucked all of the hoes, right? They done had every bitch, married, single, you name it, kids. Listen, I'm just naming what happened in the files, right? They done did everything up under the sun. So what else is there to do, right? What else is there to do but take over the world? And this is exactly what's going on. So now they're in the business of controlling the minds of the people, making you more docile, making you more compliant, because when you have a compliant population, you don't get revolutions, right? You don't get, the wars against, the elites. And this is why nobody's pushing back, because they've already socially programmed many people to be compliant, right? A lot of people are already comfortable, right? Driving their little cars around, right? They're comfortable, with their, little paychecks. They're comfortable going in there and being keyboard warriors. They're comfortable. You got ninjas waiting around. They care nothing about the Constitution being trampled on. They care nothing about what the government is doing, but they're waiting on a new GTA, right? They're waiting on a new GTA. They're waiting on the latest gaming system. They're waiting on the next iPhone to drop. They're waiting on all of this, and this is by no coincidence, right? Y'all have been thinking that they just been dropping stuff just because, we're in a technological age and they just want to, invent new stuff. Nah, man, nah. That's not the whole story. That's like 25% of the story, right? But the whole story is that they've been preparing this for decades, right? They've been socially programming people for decades, if not centuries, right? This stuff is being passed down, you know, from families, right? Elite families, right? What you call those secret societies, if you will, right? A lot of this stuff has been passed down through generations to continue the mission, right? Straight from the Rockefellers all the way down, you know, the Carnegies. This is no joke, man. This is no joke. And many of you are probably, you know, asking me, well, how do you know stuff like this? Man, listen, you know, sometimes I believe that there's people who exist in this world who are part of certain lineages who are meant to wake people up, right? There's certain people that exist in this world who are part of certain bloodlines, certain elite bloodlines who may not be a part of, you know, necessarily the ruling class, but a part of the, how do I put it? What definition I want to use? Part of the exile class, right? Part of the, you know, wisdom class, if you will, right? People who exist off the grid, you know, who live on their own terms, right? Wizards, if you will, right? I don't know the proper name for it, but there's people who exist in this world who, you know, act in a way of just like the secret societies, but they operate in their own manner, you know, to wake up people, to get them on the straight and narrow path, right? People exist in this world, and I'm one of those people who is trying to help people wake up and live life, you know, on their own terms, just if people would wake up. But you know what? I think at this point, there's too many people that love compliance, right? Many of you love it, right? You wake up every single day. You don't even comply with yourself. You don't even comply with your own nature, right? You don't wake up and go outside, get some fresh air, right? You don't breathe any fresh air. You don't go for a walk. You don't go for a run. You don't pick up no iron. You don't stimulate yourself mentally. You don't stimulate your body. You just wake up, eat the poison food, go to work, continuously be poisoned by the system in every direction, right? And you just go on about your day. Repeat the same thing every single day until you finally just die, right? And this is the life of many people, right? And no, we probably won't see a revolt. No, we probably won't see a revolution. The people who want to see a revolution, those are the people that the NPCs are going to trample on, right? I'm sorry to sound like a nihilist. I'm sorry to sound like Mr. Bad News, the big bad wolf. But for you guys who self-proclaim patriots, the ones who are real patriots, not you hypocrites who patriots for me but not for thee as ninjas, right? I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the real patriots, right? The real people who stand up for everyone and what's actually good for everyone and not just for one specific people, right? I'm talking about you. Listen, at this point, there's too many NPCs. There's too many people who enjoy compliance. There's too many people who are willing to actually go against the grain instead of doing what is necessary to fight the powers that be. Listen, I'm just a messenger. I'm just a messenger. I'm not, listen, I have no fight in this game, right? I've already done my due diligence. I continue to do my due diligence, and you already see what I'm doing. You already see where I'm at, right? And I plan on, you know, starting brand new from where I'm at and doing my thug fizzle right here. So for those of you who want to fight, for those of you who, you know, you believe in your country, you're a patriot, hang it up, buddy. Hang it up, buddy. They already have all of the NPCs on their side. Just letting you know. They already have the NPCs on their side. They already have listen, they already turned everything against the real patriot class. There is no going back to it. There is no going back to it. There is no going back to 2012. There is no going back to the 90s. There is no going back to the 80s. This is irreversible, right? The social programming is too strong, right? The social engineering is too strong, right? And then on top of that, people are living to work, working to live. So they
blessings, man. Peace and blessings, Mark the Messenger. We are back with another video, man. This one's really about 7 signs someone in their life is a demon. This is part 2. I made part 1 almost a year ago. A lot of people have been asking me to make this video again. Here you have it. New knowledge, new information, new wisdom. Ooh, straight from the Holy Spirit. Oh, man, this one's about to be a classic, all right? So number one sign. The number one sign, this is the main sign, the number one sign to look for when someone is being used by Satan, okay? A demon's main goal is to feed off your energy to drain your life force, okay? Demons are attracted to your light. So you got to understand this. You know, one thing I learned about these demons, a lot of you guys know this too. You ever try to ignore a demon, right? Let's say maybe you're giving the energy to them, right? Going back and forth and whatever, right? But then you're just, all right, like, you know, like, I'm tired of this, man. You see it's getting nowhere, so you ignore it. And you ever notice when you ignore the demon, now the demon gets really more mad because it's not getting your energy no more. It's not feeding off your energy no more. So the quickest, when you see these signs, you know, the Bible says in Matthew chapter 12, verse 43 to 45, talks about 7 spirits coming into people. So people got multiple demons. It's not just one. So you got to put an S in it. Demons, okay? So it's multiple. They got the spirit of wrath, the spirit of hate, the spirit of jealousy, the spirit of envy. All these demonic spirits, okay? And they're trying to push that demonic energy onto you, okay? And you notice the minute you ignore them, the minute you're not paying no mind, no attention, okay, just doing your own thing, moving forward, you know. And it's like the demon then doesn't like that. You guys, because it's no longer feeding off your energy. And the one thing that the demon does, guys, when it sees that you're not, the hate's not getting into you no more. Maybe it did in the beginning, but like now you're like, dude, I'm over it, right? And then now what the demon does, it starts spreading lies because the hate don't work. So the next thing they gotta do is start to spread lies in your name. But always understand this, all you people who are children of God, that if the lies get exalted, the truth will also too. God will make sure the truth will prevail. So if anybody who's lying on you, hating on you, you don't need to go back and forth. The Most High God will answer in due time. And everybody who believes the lies, who believe the rumors, they're all good to see. They're all good to see. So this is why, guys, you never go back and forth with a demon, with a demonic spirit. When you see someone being used by Satan, okay, the best thing that you could do is understand spiritual laws and pray for your enemies. So this is what us followers of Christ are called to do. Pray for our enemies. Because some people, guys, they don't know. Some people know they're being used, but some people, they don't. The people who know they're being used are just full of pride, so much ego, and they're able to be used, okay? So always want to make sure, guys, the enemies that are coming your way, always be praying for them. I know it's not easy to do that. It's not easy to forgive, but that's what we're called to do, you know? All right, so number 2 is demons love to provoke you to anger and wrath, to get you to go out of character. They feed off your negative emotions and reactions, okay? So you got to understand this, right? When a demon's trying to get you to go out of character, right? To cause you to rage, to cause you to get anger, you know, to get you to go out of character, right? And like they spreading gossip and lies and slander and drama, all this type of stuff, right? That's witchcraft that they're doing on it. They're casting a spell on you. And like I said, guys, when you ignore it, the demon in them gets more mad because they're no longer feeding off your energy. So always keep this in mind, man. They love whenever you see someone they're trying to provoke you, and you got to be careful, guys. There's people, guys, who are facing life in prison right now, life in jail, because they allowed the demon to provoke them to anger and wrath. Now, and they reacted to it in a negative way. And now they're in jail. Right now, guys, there's millions of people all throughout the world, guys, who allow the demon to get them to rage out, you know, to get them to go out of character, and now they're paying the price. And I don't want you guys to pay the price too. I don't want people watching this. So understand this, guys. Whenever you see the Spirit, through your discernment, through the Holy Spirit that's giving you the wisdom and knowledge to see that these spirits are working through them to get to you, okay? Always understand that, man. It's just a demon using, like I said, the best thing that we could do is just pray for them. Pray that they see the deception. Pray that they see that they're being used. You know, now, of course, they are children of Satan out here. Those who don't have love for their brothers, the Cains out here, okay, those people, they're going to do what they do because they're other followers of the devil. They're going to continue doing the will of their father, Satan, not God, Satan. So, so always keep that in mind, man. They feed off your negative reactions, your negative emotions, okay? They try to, gossiping about you, slandering. God, that's all witchcraft, guys. I'm telling you, all witchcraft. And best believe, all the spells that are casting on you, all the witchcraft, all the manipulation, it's gonna backfire on them. Best believe it. Best believe it. All that demonic energy they're pushing on you, it's going to backfire to them. It's spiritual laws. In life, you reap what you sow. You reap what you sow. This is why the Bible says too. Never seek revenge. Never seek to get even with somebody. And there's people in jail right now, guys, because they sought out their own revenge. They didn't want to wait on God. Because when you wait on God to judge, it takes time. It don't always just happen. Now, sometimes it happens like this, but it takes time. Even when it came to Judas, what Judas did to Christ, okay, Judas wasn't destroyed the same day. Okay, it even says in the Bible that Judas bought a piece of land with the money that he used to turn him in. He bought a piece of land. Okay, I'll leave Bible verses throughout the scripture. Okay, even what happened with Samson and Delilah. Now, of course, Samson was given into lust, so he had to reap what he sowed too. But Delilah was destroyed too. All throughout the Bible, guys. So wait on God, wait on the Most High, and He will do what He does. He will judge accordingly. All right. So that's number 2. Number 3. Okay. Before a devil/demon exposes themselves. Okay. Now this is the true followers of Christ will be warned. Okay. The true followers of Christ will be warned. Now I believe that everybody will be warned, but those who are followers of Christ, you will see, because this is biblical. Before Judas turned in Christ, before Judas being a devil, right? God showed His Son. God showed Jesus what was going to happen before it happened. And Jesus called it out in the supper when they were eating. He called it out. He said, "One of you is a devil." And they all looked around like, "Who is it?" Right? But Jesus was playing dumb. He acted like he didn't know. He acted like he didn't know, but he knew the whole time. And Judas was looking around. I bet you Judas was like, who's he talking about? Nah, it ain't me, bro. It ain't me. I guarantee you. You're like, yeah, no, it's you. He's probably pointing. It's you. I'm telling you. So God showed you who Jesus was. Okay. John chapter 6 verse 70 talks about, "Have I not chosen you 12, and one of you is a devil?" So God, the Most High, the Father, showed the Son prophetically what was going to happen, whose true colors were. Okay. And this is what happens. The devil's demons your life in due time, in due season. The people who you broke bread with, the people that y'all ate, maybe y'all preached the gospel together.